Instead of Zin shouted to the heavens summoning men, Zin shouted the heavens raining.
We're here. We're live. It's a thing.
Are we?
Yeah, I
Are we
think
sure
so.
about that?
I don't know. I assume we are. Hello, everyone, and welcome one and all to Once Upon a Tabletop, where we tell fantastic tales using tabletop RPGs. I am your host and game master, Shane Rachels, joined by our lovely Season 1 cast. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And we are preparing to dive into episode 3, but of course at the top of the show we have a few notes. The first note being you won't see us interact with chat during the episode. Instead, stick around after the episode is over for bonus action, where we'll talk about the episode, engage with chat, thank our followers, do all that kind of stuff, so stay tuned for that. Remember, just because the episode is done doesn't mean the show is over. Second thing, this is episode 3, which means there was an episode 2, which means we have things to talk about. We have a bit of a recap to get through before we can start. So, to my cast, who is volunteering to do the recap today? Who's doing that?
So we woke up in an infirmary, right?
Okay, Sammy again.
I think it's a wonderful note taker, right?
It's beautiful. I wish, if I screen shared it, it's shorter this time. Yeah, we woke up in a room. Poor Torch was knocked the fuck out. We had Amaya and Amelia. Amaya's Amelia's assistant. And she was like, "Oh, poor babe, it's okay. We're not so worried, but we would like to know what happened after you eat." And they got delicious little salads. It was great. We found out Amaya is Torch's mom, and we had to break the news. Her dad was dead, and we were asked to, kind of take care of Torch a little bit. And we found out Min was the nurse in the room, so that was fun. And if you want to get her to come around, just scream her name, baby. She'll show up, and she did. Later at the library, Zen was like, "So what if I just shout, 'Min, I need you'?" And she showed up as like an old dapper man. And me, Raylith, and Aggie are like out helping with supplies with Torch. And then Zin is in the library doing library research for the thing that we should be doing. I'm doing my research a different way. And it was cool because we ended with, if you had the power to kill a god, would you? And that's what happened.
I love how you completely skipped my favorite part, which was Tomas punching people in the gonads.
Look,
yeah, how can you leave out Tomas?
I wasn't there for that one.
Fair.
That took like an hour.
That was like half the episode was Tomas punching people in the gonads.
So I thought Aggie would want to say that part. Okay.
Hey, but you were the one doing the recap. That means you got to cover all the information.
And then Tomas punched people in the gonads.
He did do that.
And is now on latrine duty.
So yeah, last episode was a lot chiller. It was a lot slower. There's a lot more stuff. Fair warning before we start episode 3. This episode is not going to be that. A note to the audience and to the cast, the beginning of this episode especially, is going to be very, very confusing. That is intentional. Try to keep up. Try to catch up. Stay on your toes. Because shit's going to get very, very weird. And like I said, it is on purpose. So let's see how this goes. To get started, the four of you are sitting around a table in the library. Min, in the form of an old man, is sitting at the table with a book wide open. These little strange symbols and sigils made of light kind of float above the book, putting out little bits of light in this dark corner of the library where you guys sit. And Min has just asked a question to the party. If you had the power of a god, would you use it to kill a god?
Well, it was to Zen. Zen's the only one's there.
No. All four of you are sitting in the library. The book is open on the table. I told you before this started.
Oh.
If I say it, assume it is true.
I didn't. Okay, yeah.
Where the hell are we? And who the hell are you?
Oh, apologies. Is my voice not enough? And she will kind of wave her hand over her face, and you'll see the beautiful countenance of Min, this kind of angular, high cheekbone, flawless skin, full red lips woman sitting before you. She still has the hair of the old man, this kind of salt pepper swept back gray thing, but just with Min's face on top. It's actually pretty horrifying, if I'm being honest. And then she wipes her hand back over her face for a moment. She's back to the old guy.
It's a challenge, but I'll do it. What was your question?
Yeah, what was that?
If a god was using their power, their strength to step on others, and you had the same power, would you oppose them?
Now, I thought you said there weren't no gods.
Those words never came out of my mouth.
So you're not a god, but gods exist.
Correct.
So if a god was doing these things and being a little shit about it, you're asking if we would kind of do the same back to him?
Precisely.
Now I think the question is what all would it affect around it? Is it that we do that and then everything's supposed to be fine and dandy, or you have to kind of hurt more people in the process of trying to go against him?
Assume the worst possible outcome for you, and tell me, what would that outcome look like? I wonder.
Well, the worst possible outcome is, everything being destroyed in the process, type of thing, I'd say.
So the lives of lesser beings are more important than the devastation of entire worlds.
I'm just saying in the process of all of it. Because, our whole goal is to protect those around us in the whole realm and whatnot, and why we had the whole talk with you in the first place. So I guess the question is would it do a lot of damage in the process to, I don't know, a small city, a large city?
Potentially. You see that she crosses her legs, her dress kind of flowing over her legs, kind of moves over and leans in with her dress kind of falling open a little bit, her hair kind of falling around her head a little bit, leans over directly towards Aggie and says, "What about you? You've been strangely silent during this conversation, my dear."
I was letting Mimi Doe speak. I wasn't really paying attention to her. I have trouble following what she says.
I speak perfect English.
That's debatable.
Okay.
We're all from the same town, but none of us have accents. Anyway, I would just say come corrected or get corrected,
A view that I would say I agree with. And you? And she looks over towards Raylith.
Have you not thought that maybe we're still trying to wrap our minds around the idea that you just said there are gods in general?
Is it so surprising? You have stories. She kind of gestures towards the book. Gods exist everywhere. Every legend has a seed and a truth.
Yeah, but I don't
mean,
read too good. Sorry.
Stories are story.
Stories are...
They all start somewhere.
I'm trying to think of how she would... Stories, legends especially, tend to be examples or explanations for things that are beyond more normal human understanding. They are... How would you say it? The reasoning of a mind trying to understand something that it cannot. They put it into a phrase or story or tale that would explain it in a way that other people can understand.
Are you talking about mythology?
To a certain extent, yes.
Stories are fantasy. They're I mean, sure, somewhere along the line there might be some kind of modicum of truth, but they're stories. That's what they are. They're fantasies. They're created by people who don't get to experience such a thing, so they come up with a world where they can't.
Precisely.
That's
And if this
that's
story
not always
was,
the case.
if
I
this,
beg
Not
to differ.
always. There's some truth.
I mean, I could tell you the story about the mighty Tomas the Castrator if you want me to. I met him last night.
Okay, but even in the case of biographies, who doesn't at least embellish a little bit when they're writing? Like, there's story, there's fiction somewhere in most stories. Most of them are just fiction.
Rayla's a lot more
So again-
closed-minded than I thought she'd be.
So you say they're gods. We have never experienced anything like that aside from these stories.
she gestures to herself.
You claimed you're not a god.
Not quite, not yet, no.
In my opinion, you're just some monstrosity from one of these rifts that has a little bit too much power in their britches.
Ooh, monstrosity. You harm me. Still, I take no offense at it. You're correct, I am a monstrosity. In so few terms. But assume the gods are real. And you had the power to oppose them. The question is, would you?
If they're creating fear, yes.
And would you go so far as to kill them if needed?
It's what the Guardian Corps does. Protect from fear, above all.
And you, my adorable bald-headed little friend?
I
Zin.
wonder if
Tell
he
him he's
knows he's muted.
I will have to. I'm for it.
Are
It
you
seems
asking
we
us to
have-
kill a benevolent god?
Benevolent? No. Benevolence is impossible at the tiers that these people operate at. Their very moving, shifting from one place to another causes problems. Their very drawing of breath of a god causes effects across many worlds. This is the problem with the power that they hold. They know not what happens beneath them. We are but ants.
But if we kill a god, wouldn't that cause like a power imbalance with like the universe? You take one god out, what's going to replace it? Something worse?
It could. These are the consequences. The question is, would the consequences be worth doing what is needed to be done to ensure that this fear, this domination from these beings is wiped out? I'll give you a few moments to think on it. Zin, Mimi, Raylith. You're all standing in a warehouse. Aggie has disappeared, snuck off, done what Aggie does. You're all loading crates, stacking things onto little trolleys to be pushed around in town by the city guard. Torch and Amaya and Boreal are all standing at a table on the far side of the room, kind of leaning over papers, going through things. Along with a few other individuals that you guys don't necessarily recognize, or to be honest, aren't even really that important. Kind of going over things and preparing to send out their loads for today. Mimi, what was the result of that investigation check? 10.
Perception.
Perception. Unfortunately, with a 10, you're not finding much. I mean, everybody's kind of talking about Arthur and making it out of the rift and how he's been, injured so heavily that they're not sure if he's going to make it, but how all the mages of the town are doing the best they can to ensure that he'll be able to walk again. It's a whole thing. It's complicated. It's messy. And I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. That is the news of the day. No one really cares about a world stone or about a few people just asking questions. It's just not the way things are going today.
Guys, I'm gonna walk up to Rayla and Sin. Guys, oh, Sin, you're here.
Yes.
Where's Aggie? What? Please tell me that y'all are also experiencing a little weirdness.
What are you talking about? He's right here.
No,
Oh.
he's not. And you're here, and you didn't come out with us.
God damn it! He did it again.
Wasn't there a
What do you
halfling here
mean?
a second ago?
I'm
He.
gonna walk up to Torch real quick. Hi, Torch. Do you remember this morning where our good old little friend Aggie went, perchance? Or if he came out here with us or something?
No, I haven't seen him. He wasn't in the room this morning. I came to give the update about Dad, and he wasn't there. I assumed he went out somewhere early. It was before patrol started, so I didn't worry about it too much. We don't have to be active until, she kind of looks down, something like 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay, can you, because I think I bumped my head the other day, and I'm just been a little foggy this morning. Can you remind me how the day started?
Oh,
Just a little bit.
we woke up and told you that you were on duty today, that you were going through training, despite the fact that Dad is, indisposed. And she kind of looks off to the side at the moment, but that you would continue doing your training. Part of that is learning how the rest of the city works. So you all said that you hadn't been a part of this before, that you hadn't distributed food or worked the ags. So she just kind of gestures across the room. Which,
all right, cool.
by the way, you're kind of supposed to be helping. She kind of points towards this large cart with like 60 crates in front of it that you guys aren't loading at the moment.
We'll get right to that. Like I said, been just a little foggy. Let me go grab the others. Guys, this morning apparently didn't happen the way that I remember it happening. How about y'all?
Do we recognize the discrepancy?
You do, yeah.
What did she do?
Fuck if I know.
Aggie, you find yourself in a tunnel underneath the city.
Sorry.
No!
A series of what looks like sewers that have been built underneath the city. These large, round, kind of almost hand-carved, but not quite. It's still a little bit natural in a lot of places here, but you're kind of moving into down this tunnel, and you hear a chanting, a kind of ominous sounding, repetitive chanting sound. You can't understand the words to it. I have checked. It's not in a language that you understand. And you find at the end of this kind of long hallway sort of thing, a small little candle beside a door with a red handprint embossed on it.
You said it was a candle next to a door with a red handle with what embossed on it?
A red handprint.
Red handprint on the door?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I listen to the door, is that chanting coming from
It
like the other
appears to
side of the
be.
door?
Yeah.
Hmm. I would like to stealth and I would like to stealth and open up the door. And by
Stealth.
open up the door, I mean slam it open because I rolled a 1.
Did you roll the one? Okay. You go to open the door is locked. You do see a rather large, old-style, fancy key. Do you know these are easy to pick?
Do I have?
Do you have lockpick tools? Yes.
You told me to get rid of it.
I know. Do you have them? Yes.
I have lockpick tools all of a sudden.
Hmm. And
What the fuck is going on?
and you know you shouldn't. But the question is, will Aggie's curiosity get the better of him anyway?
Yeah, he's going to try and open up the
Exactly.
door.
I knew you would.
It's sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, yeah.
14.
14's enough. You spend a few seconds clicking and clacking and opening the door. You open the door on the other side to a brick wall. There's nothing there. You all wake up in the infirmary. You're wrapped in bandages. You've been burned pretty badly. Several people are standing and running back and forth. There's a general hubbub. Talk about a rift in the middle of the city. Several people are injured. The room is full. All 40 beds have someone in them, others on rolling carts laid around. You guys didn't manage to save the city. And pain hits you, one by one, hard. What do you do?
I'm screaming men.
I was gonna say the same.
There's no response.
What in the royal fuck is happening?
Are we in like full like hospital?
Oh yeah,
patient
you're wrapped head to toe in bandages.
Okay.
Rayla is gonna close her eyes and just kind of like, probably almost under her breath, chant, "Real, fucking with our heads," and just try to like remember what she did in the clearing where it felt real but it wasn't. She's gonna try to put herself in that spot.
Yeah. How's everybody else reacting?
Mimi's gonna attempt to try and get up, and depending on how that goes, she's about to start pacing. She's got to think.
Yeah. You try to stand up and realize that your left leg is broken. You put the weight on it and collapse. The pain rushes through your body, and next thing you know, you've got several nurses. Oh dear, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, and they start picking you up and kind of trying to put you back on the bed. The strength is pretty much sapped from your body. I mean, you are hurt. Arthur walks into the room in his armor, shield on his back, sword at his side, screaming, carrying the body of Torch. He starts calling for the nurses. The nurses all rush over to him, but she's not moving. What do you do?
This isn't happening. This isn't happening. This is so totally not fucking happening. Ugh.
In the beds next to us, like who is next to Aggie?
You are in between Zin and Mimi. Raylith is on the other side of Mimi. So Zin, Aggie, Mimi, Raylith.
I want to cast a spell on Zin.
Cast a spell on Zin. What spell are you casting? Need a second to go to your character.
The only cantrip I have that I can cast on someone else. Starry Wisp.
Sorry, Wisp.
Please don't.
While I'm trying to get to your character sheet, you can just tell me, does it require somatic, verbal, or material components?
Verbal and somatic.
Verbal and somatic. Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
He's trying to take me out.
An 11.
An 11. Okay. I would say an 11 is enough. It's hard. And I'm going to say you take... You're going to take... It's only 1 point of damage because you go to do the verbal part and your throat is raw and burned and it hurts. But you do manage to just barely get the little incantation out to cast. Give me an attack roll against Zen's AC.
Yeah. Good luck.
10.
Zen, does that hit?
No.
Okay, the spell goes wide, slams into a wall on the other side of the room. People panic. They turn towards Aggie. Is he infected? And they all begin to rush over. You wake up in your barracks. Sun is shining through the window, letting light into the room. Your birds chirping outside.
You asshole. What was that?
I was testing a theory and it worked.
What was your theory?
One, see if I have magic. Two, if I try to hurt someone, would that break the illusion? And apparently it did. Go me!
So, what
So
if
an
I jumped
illusion
out
is
the
a type
window?
of magic where it makes people think that there's things that are there that are not actually there. I know I'm like the smartest person here and I'm great with magic, but I'll just let you know that's what illusion magic is.
So, like, if we all go up to the roof and I try to jump off of it, do you think something would happen?
Something would definitely happen.
I don't know. I'm real confused. I don't like this magic shit.
Here, I'll try another theory and I will punch Zen as hard as I can.
Yeah.
I hope
Let's
this
go for
hits.
that. Let's go
I
for
hope
that.
this hits because this would be hilarious.
Mhm.
Give me an
So I'll let you
attack
know
roll.
how much damage I. That is a 14.
14 hits in.
No.
You miss.
Come on, let me hit you. I do 0 damage on unharmed strikes.
All right. So, should
Give
I
me-
try to hit then?
Give
Do
me
you
a
think
his-
that'll help?
Somebody give me a history check. Because I think there's something you guys haven't picked up on.
I have a +4 in history.
I rolled a
Mimi's
2.
not even going to attempt.
You
I
said
rolled
one
real
of them.
great. This
Mhm.
dice is not doing well for me.
My history is a +0. I think Zen's. Oh.
Yeah. Let me stop rolling on
Rolls are
that.
our enemies.
I think it's just on the laptop. My roll sucks. Where's my phone? Here.
Is your stock?
Like it stops at the corner. Like all my rolls have been low because it just stops at the corner. Like in between numbers that it just always chooses
As
the
long
lowest
as it's not
number.
doing the same number over and over again, it's fine. I have had mine where it's actually just stuck. Like my D20s will always roll a 4, guaranteed. If I roll on my tablet. I don't know why, but if I roll on the PC, it's fine.
Yeah, if he's stuck with the first one, it's a 9.
A 9. I think a 9 would be enough because it's not hard. As in, it strikes you. You don't have a window in your barracks.
Oh yeah, I'm rolling on my phone now. Screw that. This has to be another illusion. There are no windows. And
Our barracks. You're right.
I'm letting you know right now, I have a great memory. I rolled a 2. We definitely had a window.
You know what? I'm about to sit
Question.
and wait.
yes,
Was it just, oh, this is for the DM. Was it just like a spell or something that Arthur was casting when we were in the other dimension, like in through the portal? Was it a spell that he was using to combat men? Do we even know because like how we were snapping out of it?
It was a spell, yes. None of you rolled to see what the spell was, but if you'd like, you can make an Arcana check to see if you can remember. When you receive, are you talking about when you received the terrified
would help.
condition and he knocked you out of it? Okay.
Yeah, when she was showing us it, like,
Yeah.
I don't know that me knowing the spell would help at this point.
I have a +2
How do you have a +2 to Arcana?
because I'm the
Wisdom.
smartest person here.
I'm pretty
Rayla's
smart,
gonna
man.
draw her sword.
Draw your sword. You don't have a sword.
Don't have a sword at all.
You have a battle axe
Can
on
I
your
still
back.
cast spells?
I have a what?
You have a battle axe on your back.
What do I have?
A battle axe.
Okay, well, if I have a battle axe, I'm still going to do this same thing I was going to do with my sword, and she's gonna run her hand along it enough to try to cut herself to see if she'll wake up
Okay.
from whatever the fuck this is, like taking maybe.
Take 5 points of damage.
That is some very severe, like,
I went
Cut
hard
your
on
thumb?
that hand. Jesus,
Yeah.
it's
Cut
not what I
off
was
your
going
thumb.
for. It's like,
All right.
let's
Okay. Men, if this is supposed to be some example of how things can go awry and maybe of the different things that you mean that this, whatever God entity can cause or do, then yeah, cool. We'll whoop his ass as soon as we're able. That sounds like a really good time. Personally do not enjoy this mental hellscape that you're putting us through, though, and I would really appreciate it if we could just go back to what we were doing and maybe have a casual, cool conversation.
Min walks into the room dressed in Torch's outfit. Whatever do you mean? I am so confused.
You're confused? You're not behind this weird fucking... I don't even know what to call it. We've had this a day, but multiple days within our day.
Your
We've
day
been
is
burned.
Your day is just starting. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, dear.
Man, if you're not behind this, then what the fuck is going on?
Arthur walks into the room. Min snaps to attention. Officer on deck.
Rayla.
I stand to attention.
Do the attention. Yep.
Aggie's looking out the window to see if it looks any different from Asher than Asher usually would look like.
Interesting. You can see the city, the land beyond, the sun shining. You see carts lining up at the city gates, preparing to get let in for the day. Merchants traveling from other cities, Umlaut and Cove City and Brass Tower and so many other towns, preparing to start the day off.
So this is a land that, like, portals don't exist. Or after portals have ended.
A fireball
Min,
strikes
is this
the
what you're
building. Meteors
Right,
fall from
now
the
we're
sky.
Right.
Smoke plumes across the city. Astra trembles as the cliffs collapse and half the city falls into the sea. A huge hand, absolutely massive, slaps one side of the city, wiping out buildings and thousands of lives with a single strike.
I may have spoken too soon.
People scream around you. The rubble in the city square that you're standing in falls and crumbles. People are crushed. It is a nightmare. What are you doing?
What are we doing, Captain?
Captain? Who are you talking to? Arthur's dead. He's been dead for a
Arthur?
long time.
I'm going to meditate, to focus my mind, to clear, and try to figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm going to cast Wish and wish for this to end.
You cast Wish?
Yeah.
Is it one of your magical secrets?
No.
What are you wishing?
For all of this to end.
We die.
Oh god.
The world ends. Nothing but solid black void around you. For a moment. And then a flash of light.
Dope.
You find yourself at the city gates, waiting to get let in. School starts tomorrow. There's a lot of work to be done today. You have to figure out where you're staying, where your dorm is. You have to get in and find out who your teachers are going to be. You're hoping you get into Amaya Silverstrand's class. The best, after all.
So I'm no longer meditating. I'm now standing at the gate.
A line of people in carts in front of you.
Okay. Guys, do we have any other thoughts, plans, actions? I don't know
Can I
what to
do
do.
a perception check to see if there's like a figure that's been in each sequence?
Give me a history
Like-
check or something if you'd like.
Okay.
All right, so Aggie wished for it to end when he doesn't have wish, and it ended, and now we're in a new sequence.
13.
13.
Yep.
As far as you know, the only people that have been in every scene is you. In your party.
Hmm.
You know what?
Good.
How funny would it be if I tried to cast Fireball? For fun.
On the people? You
Fireball
could
the
like
people.
cast something like
Fuck it!
You-
smaller.
If you look in your material pouch, you have the bat guano required. It's a level 3 spell. It'd probably be kind of hard for a sorcerer like you, but it's possible.
I do it. What do I gotta roll?
You mean
Fuck it.
Arcana check. You don't have access to level 3 spells yet, but you can probably step beyond.
It's 2.
It's a 2.
2s are
Please
back,
roll a-
baby!
That's rough. The spell fizzles in your hand, but maybe after you get to class. Maybe if you do a little bit more study. Someone
Okay.
teaches you how to use your wild magic, you can probably get in there.
Guys, I don't do magic.
Let's
What-
see
what
these other
was
gods
this?
then. Show them to us.
One of the people standing around in front of you turns back. You excuse me, you can't just ask to see the gods. They don't talk to people like us. It's not how it works.
Quite frankly, I'm pretty sure this, whatever this is
It-
actually going on right now. So
Please,
if we can swipe this away, then
please do not blaspheme so openly. It would cause a lot of
Cause what?
problems.
Oh,
Don't mind her.
I'm
She
sorry.
was hit with a spell yesterday, and like her mind's all.
I do not wish to be delayed
Weird.
any further. I'd rather get into the city. Thank you.
Yep, get
Oh.
a step in.
mhm. Your god's a pussy.
Fuck these gods! Fuck these gods!
Okay. Several people now turn towards you all.
Yeah.
It wasn't me this time. I
I'll
just
raise
wanted to
my
let everyone
hand.
know it wasn't me
I
this time.
said it. And if anybody has any quarrels with what I said, please step up.
Okay.
I don't think you know how to fight in this universe.
They all
Or maybe
begin.
we do.
They all
I'm
begin
sure.
to step towards you. You're eating lunch in the cafeteria. Tomas the Goliath is
Is-
serving you food.
no,
Tomas
don't
the
mess with
Goliath?
Tomas! No,
You turned him into a Goliath?
leave our
I hit him with
alone.
with the starry wisps. You can't do that to Tomas. How dare you?
He sets down small plates of nothing but beans and says, I'm sorry. There's not much today, but we've got enough that you can get your work done. Kind of leans down and whispers over towards Aggie. I snuck some bread out in the back. You can meet me back there. I should be able to get you at least a couple of pieces, but I gotta split it with the others too.
One moment, you guys, you three. I'll be right back.
No,
Gotta
you
go
would
get.
not.
Can't
No.
catch me. Can't catch me. And
I
I'll
can't.
run off with Tomas.
I will pop my elemental and I will go for a grapple. Yeah, you can't go anywhere.
And that's assuming you pass a strength check. It'll be your strength or dexterity, your choice, versus his strength or dexterity. No, it's your strength period, I think. Yeah.
Versus my strength or
versus your
dexterity.
strength or dexterity. You get to choose. Aggie gets to choose. Zen is a strength check.
Hot damn. 8 acrobatics. Beat that, Sir Dwarf.
Okay.
Come on, Mr. Monk. Catch this little halfling. All my dice are fucking cursed today.
Are any of us different?
Yes. And it's actually, considering how many details I've put in, it's actually kind of surprising that you guys haven't asked yet. You're a ranger, Mimi. You have a bow strapped to your back and a small hand crossbow on your side. Raylith is we'll say, bard. You have a little harp. Zen appears to be a fighter. He's wearing heavy armor at the moment, with a great sword strapped to his back. And Aggie, we'll say, is a wizard. Got a little book and a robe.
DC 8.
What level wizard? Would you say like 3rd level?
I'd say you're probably level 3, yeah.
Can I like just dimension door out of here?
Dimension Door is a 5th level spell. The fuck are you gonna do that at 3rd level, my guy?
Dimension door is a 5th level spell?
I'm fairly sure, yeah. I think the only teleportation style spell you would have access to right now is Misty Step at level 3.
I Misty
The
Step out of there?
First level spell. You don't know Misty
just
Step.
The basic roll is just a 19.
Also, you're still using your regular stats for reasons. There is a logic to what's going on, but
So, he's grappled.
Guys.
he's
So-
grappled.
Yes.
So you're causing a ruckus in the middle of the cafeteria. The Imperium steps in. Several members in red and white armor. Swords drawn and at the ready. One of them screams out, "Who's stepping out of line?" Tomas immediately backs off, hands in the air.
And I want to toss Aggie into them.
Toss Aggie into them. Okay. There's 7 people standing here. Aggie's going to cover about 3 or 4 of them, maybe. The other 3 step up.
Dude, I'm a halfling, like maybe 2 on a good day.
You're not a
Are you a halfling?
You
Am I a halfling?
You are a halfling, yeah. Because I didn't change that.
Like one person, like 2 people on a good day.
3 of them step up, swords drawn, and all 3 of them stab you. Right through the middle of your chest at the same time.
I roll an Arcana check to see what the fuck, like just to try to fucking wrap my mind around what the hell is going on.
You can. You all wake up in the barracks.
Are we different again?
It's a nat 20.
This time you're right. Ooh, nat 20.
It's a nat 20 for a 20. I don't have any plus to Arcana, but it's my it stays.
I'm trying to think of how to word this. You think back to the day you joined the Corps. You think back to that evening, going into the rift, other stuff, and you think about everything you know about the core, everything you know about everything, and it's rolling around in your head as you wake up in the barracks. 6 beds around the room, Torch and Arthur both sleeping. The 4 of you glancing at each other. And a single thought pervades your mind. The only thing that can change reality, the only thing that you know of that can change the world you're in, is a rift. You went into a rift, came out of the rift, or did you come out of a rift? You're thinking, do you understand? Do you get it? Think hard. What happened that day? Standing in the clearing, making a deal with men, avoiding combat with the Draconian dreadnought, trying to make it out alive. Did something.
Do I feel the attachment to men still?
No. You think back. You could have run back to the rift of the entrance, but you didn't. What did you do?
We went through one of her rifts.
First of all, we got smooch
Everything
first,
around you freezes.
and then we went through a rift.
The world stops. The airflow in the room from the vents in the walls freezes. You went through a rift.
But not the one we...
The day resets. You wake up in the barracks. 4 beds. Light shining through the windows. No birds, though. It's dark outside. Rain patters on the roof.
What am I? What do I have today? I guess.
You're you for the moment.
I've got my own weapons and all that stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to get it. Walk out of the room and walk to the courtyard where we came through this rift that Min had made.
Okay.
I guess I'm following. Shit, you're walking out.
Yeah, you head to the courtyard. The kind of park, the kind of public play area, a little bit of greenery in the city, a little bit of space allowed for trees and nature to kind of take hold in order to let the city feel some kind of touch with that rather than the kind of claustrophobia that would come with a completely enclosed city with no nature at all.
Hi.
What are you doing? What are you looking for? What are you
I'm looking for any kind of rift we might have came through, something that looks like what she created in the sky that day.
So, Rayla, what are we doing? What did you figure something out?
Time's flowing weird. Time's going weird. Everything's wonky. It's similar to the day that... Do you remember all the fear, the illusions, everything that was cast on us when Arthur was saving us there?
Mm-hmm.
When you come out of a rift, Arthur said time is the same. It is minutes after, like, it's the same time. It's the same time. We're supposed to pick off with no lost time, unless we pass out, of course. But we didn't come out of the rift we came in. We didn't. In fact, what we were told when we came through originally was that it had been 6 hours had passed in there, and that shouldn't have happened. I don't think we're home. I feel like there may be some kind of illusion, or that we're still trapped in a rift somewhere, and I'm trying to find the way back through it.
I guess I'll try to help you look for it.
Okay.
It was the white one that Min made, right? Because it was a different color too.
Her tears were different, but I don't know, and I don't like that I don't know, and I'm gonna be looking for that.
A rift
Okay.
would be pretty obvious, especially in such an open space like this. There are times they're hard to find. in back alleyways and in corners and stuff to make things. But this one was pretty open in the middle of the park and stuff here. I mean, there's nothing here, not the.
And we've been in Astra every time, correct?
Yes.
What is considered the center of Astra?
Center of Astra would be considered the city square. It's where the government building, the kind of warehouses and stuff that make up the area where, you know, they kind of send out the food and stuff, where all the stuff from the agriculture center district is kind of taken to and stuff like that. It's in the center of the city there, so that it's easy to distribute to the rest of the city itself, out to the residential areas and stuff like that. So it'd be like in that one kind of main courtyard there, right in front of the government building and stuff.
Did Aggie and Zen come as well? Or did y'all stay?
It was raining, so I did not leave.
And Aggie's still in the barracks, chilling, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Mimi, a lot of times I think from what Arthur was saying is like kind of in the center of the thing is like where we find. You remember the place where we have to put the disruption device? Can
Do
I
we
check to see if I
have-
have the disruption device?
Yeah, I was about to say, do we have ours?
You do still have disruption devices, yes.
We need to find where to
Um,
put this.
Can I pull it out and try to say, like, find the side that he turned it to when he said find?
Yes. The symbol itself is easily recognizable. It's a little, looks like a little line, and on one end of it is a little star.
We need to get the others, and then we need to get to that spot.
Did it light up? Sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Did you say find? Like, are you
Yes.
trying to activate it?
I'm trying to
Um,
activate it.
Okay, so you activate. It is a modified, like, kind of find object spell. And what it does is it will lead you to the most dense point of this kind of rift energy, this kind of magical energy that represents the tear in the fabric between worlds. And it does form this little golden path, kind of ekes out and starts heading towards the center of the city.
All right. Do you want to run and get the others real quick?
Sure.
Or fuck it. No, we'll both go get them, and then we'll deal with this insanity.
We need to find the other portal though before we can like the rift. We have to find the rift before we activate this, because if we can't find a rift either,
Unless we're
we don't know
in
the
it.
way out. I know we're in it, but we still
No.
come through a rift to get into the new area. And if we don't have a way back out, that was the plan. When Arthur came in and found the thing that was supposed to place the disruption device,
You're right.
when we found that, we had to know the way back or we weren't going to make it out. I don't want to just create it and then start it and then us just perish here.
Well, the
So,
most I
we've
got
done that enough.
is fine. That's it.
Okay, well, let's just get them and tell them this and then try to find this before
Sounds
things
good.
get weird again. Okay, and we'll head back to try to get Aggie and Zen on board.
You head back to the barracks. Aggie and Zen are still there, I assume.
Yeah, I'm working out, doing push-ups, keeping
Hey,
Aggie
guys!
company.
You just hear me go, "Oh my god, look at you, it's exhausting." Oh, what's up, guys?
We might have a way
I
out.
just pulled up the box. You see the shiny trail?
Do I see the shiny trail?
I don't know. It does a little thing because it directs you. So
No, DM, do I see the shiny trail, or does only Mimi Do?
Mimi Doe sees it. No one else sees it.
Oh,
I didn't know. I thought those things didn't work inside the city.
because we're not in the city. We're in a rift, and we
No, we're
got
in the city. This is the city. This is the barracks we were in.
shut
This is a
your
rift
whore
of the
mouth for a
city.
moment. For a moment, my God. So we got to figure out where we somehow came in, so when we do the thing, we can get back out. All right?
I'm not following.
that makes sense. Of course you know.
Thank you.
Aggie, you know
you
you
never
have
is.
some wild thoughts, but man, they're looking crazy right now, my guy.
I know. Like, we're in the city. Like, what are they talking about? We're in a rift
All right.
of the city.
you see a golden trail, so let's follow that. Get into little backpack mode, whatever you got to do, Aggie, and let's head out.
Put me
Braille
in
takes a second.
backpack mode.
I could
I
put you to
pick him up.
sleep,
Oh,
or
I'm not like a
there we go.
robot or a transformer. Oh, I got
Handbag.
uppies.
Handbag mode engaged.
Yep. Back to
I don't
the
even
basics.
imagine.
All right,
I'm
lead the
imagining
way.
like sack of potatoes on the way out the door, like just under your arm, just holding it, like not
I'm
even
wearing a
handbag.
very big very big cloak.
It don't
So
matter. You're like 3
it
foot
works
tall.
well. It works well with like the giant cloak.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see that too.
So you guys are moving. Where exactly are you going? Because you said two
Our
different
current-
things: trying to find the rift and heading to the city center. But you've been to the place where the rift opened. It wasn't there.
That I don't know. The only for sure thing we know right now is the fine for this. So I guess this is what we'll follow first to figure
Yeah.
out where we're gonna have to place it. But we do need to know where this is. So
Yeah, you head towards the city square. The city square, the main thing there is a small fountain that a lot of people get fresh water and stuff from. I say small. It's actually fairly large. It has a kind of statue that was built way back in the day of some former headmaster of the university that Astra was, kind of before the Veilbreak incident. There's a lot of people moving around. The government building is here, and the warehouses where people, kind of divvy out the food to distribute to the rest of the city and stuff, are also here. There's also, that's kind of on the eastern side of the courtyard. On the other side, the western side, are several buildings where the artisans do their work. Those that are making clothes and furniture and things like that for people here in the city. It's fairly loud, fairly busy, and in the find object spell will lead you to this fountain, kind of in the center of the courtyard itself, which is actually the statue was built as being the exact center of the city of Astra. That kind of symbolic gesture there.
That seems real familiar.
And as you head towards this courtyard and head towards this fountain, time shifts. You find yourself standing on the edge of a giant stage. People, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people are arrayed before you. You're being handed an award by Amaya Silverstrand. She's congratulating you on ending this apocalypse, on finishing off the last final little bit, closing the last couple of rifts. You guys have been at this for years. You are grizzled. You are Zen is missing a hand and has a robotic replacement kind of thing. It is a whole thing, but you guys have been at this for ages, but finally the war is over. The invaders are gone.
Do I still have the Rift device on me?
You do.
I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to say, Amaya, just quick reminder. I know we're having this whole celebration and stuff. Brain's feeling a little foggy today. Did one of these sides tell us like our way back out of rifts and stuff? I just can't seem to remember right now.
She kind of looks out at the crowd, back at you. The crowd's kind of starting to go a little bit quiet. People up front heard you. I know you've been through a lot, but I didn't realize your memory was quite so. Yes, you will turn towards one of the spells. One of them, there's actually a spell for this in D&D called Locate Rift, or Locate Portal, I think it is. Is an actual spell. But she kind of points towards it is a symbol of a portal. On the one of the sides of the Rift Disruption device. It's
Beautiful.
This one here. And
I want to turn it over or take it back and say, locate portal.
okay. Spell fizzles, nothing happens.
I turn it back over to find. and say find.
Okay. You turn it back over to the find object. You, the little golden trail still continues towards this fountain in the center, which now has probably 15, 20 people climbing on top of it, hoping to see a better, like view of the city, if that makes sense. A better view of the stage that you guys are standing on in front of the government building.
They're turning us into monsters. This is literally what she was testing us for. Will we destroy a world to protect our own? We have to destroy everyone here. This is the kind of fuckery she's up to.
She did say she would
There's
test
no
us.
way out. This is the test. All of these people, everyone in Rifts, they're just as real as we are.
Hmm.
While these may not be the ones we remember, these may be different. They're real, and we're about to go from heroes for them to literally their destruction for this woman.
Protect, then survive.
But if all these
Priority
people are
one.
real, like, and we're here, are we like taking the life of someone else by being here, and everyone recognizes us? No,
What is
no
Min
one.
doing in all the things that we've seen her in? Is she becoming that person? Is she taking over that person? Or is she creating something entirely new? We don't know.
All right, guys.
The only way out of here is to use this device.
I'm gonna do it.
If
I'm
it's
gonna
for the
turn
good of
towards the
God.
crowd, and I'm gonna say thank you to everyone who has seen us go through all our ups and downs. And I see people, up all over that statue. How about we go over there? Give us some room, let us go that way so that everyone has a much better view instead of having to do such dangerous stunts just to see us for this opportunity.
Mimi, we're on a stage.
The crowd
Just to let you know.
erupts into cheers. Everyone is so excited to be here. They begin chanting your names in order. Mimi, Zin, Raylith, Aggie. Mimi, Zin, Raylith, Aggie.
I'm gonna try and walk through the crowd to get to the center.
The crowd splits. They are at your command, your beck and call.
It's just not what I want. I'm just gonna keep trucking.
Head towards the fountain in the middle. You get there. People are reaching out hands, offering to shake like a celebrity walking through the middle of a crowd, or like a band member running across the little barrier at the front of a stage, giving high fives and so on and so forth. Everyone's begging for just an instance of contact so that they can go home and tell their family they met the great Mimi, the great Zin, the great Raylith, the great Aggie. The chanting continues.
And
Knowing what we have to do, I'm gonna just put on a front. I'm high-fiving everybody in my path.
Okay. The
I'm shooting
screams
off
and
silent
laughs
image
of happiness is
fireworks.
Oh, it's wonderful. It is a celebration of life and peace.
I'm gonna place the device, and I'm just gonna set it for like a minute, 30 seconds, if that's an option.
30 seconds. Okay. You set the riff. 30
Well,
seconds. What do you guys say? What do you do?
I love you all.
thank you
I
so
got
much for
this.
believing in us.
For you guys.
People begin to notice what you've done. Essentially set off a bomb in the center of the city. people start to see those who are in the Guardian Corps, faces you've recognized, faces you've worked with for tens of years now, begin to understand and begin to run away. The screams start. Bomb goes off. Time freezes. Min is now standing before you. Wow. Congratulations.
Are you happy now?
What the fuck?
Happy is subjective, I think. I want you to understand that I did not want to do this, but it was necessary.
Necessary for what?
I need you to understand exactly what it is that you are doing. Not what you will do for me, but what you are already doing.
To other realms.
Correct. Every
That's a hell
time
of a
one
way
of
to do it.
your members of your Guardian Corps sets off one of these rift disruption devices, they destroy your realm. They destroy everything that that particular realm could be. They destroy not only the realm itself, but every shred of potential that that rift will ever have. If we are to move forward in our little endeavor, you need to understand that you will not be destroying rifts. That will cause problems.
Why are these opening? Why are they opening in the first place?
I gave you knowledge of a divinity seed. You must understand that that power itself, the power of the world stone, is what is causing these rifts. As gods move, they tear things around them. I am on a mission, one that I have made very clear. I intend to do battle against these gods. They've been absent and apathetic for far too long. They allow the worlds that they've created to grow corrupt, to decay. And I will not stand for that. My own world no longer stands. Part of that is because of you. Part of that is because of the gods. I hold no hate against you for what you've done, for your people, rather. Because you knew not. But now, that must change.
So what do you expect us to do where there are rifts opening and monsters coming to hurt and kill the people?
I have a question to kind of go off of that. Min, is there any way that we could modify these devices so that it simply closes a rift and not destroy the entire realm? Or is that still the better option?
You cannot. That particular magic does not exist. However, I do. With the power of the gods that I currently possess, the world stones I have in my possession, I can close these rifts. In return, I am willing to help you. But I require more power for my mission. I require your world stone. You do not yet know what a world without a world stone looks like. I will show you. In time. When you're ready, I think. But you must understand
So,
what you are putting your world up against before. Well, you'll see soon enough, I think.
I'm sorry, you said you have world stones already, as in plural?
Yes,
have you taken those from other gods or the worlds?
other worlds.
How many more world stones do you need?
Just yours.
So you've gotten all these world seeds from other worlds. Why can't you just go get the world seed from here?
There are still procedures, things that I can't tell you, rules set in place by those who placed the seeds to begin with. There must be a journey.
I got a better question. You just said we haven't seen a world without a world seed. So if you get ours, what happens to ours?
Part of this little adventure, she gestures around her, was to show you the things that will be necessary in order to achieve the mission that we have. Worlds will end. Yours might.
Yes, but our whole deal was to protect ours.
It's true. And you will be protecting yours. From a certain kind of end. I will give you a much more peaceful one. And when the time comes, when the gods are gone, I will place these seeds back and your world will continue, uninterrupted. It is a promise I make that when the power of the gods has officially been dissipated, I will give up the power that I hold in order to make sure that the worlds continue without their interference, or lack of interference, as it were.
Okay. So, you are gathering this power from these worlds. And essentially, they're in a stasis. When you give them back, they're supposed to continue. But the powers of these gods, or the world stones that these other gods have, they're just not giving a shit about those worlds?
They do not. Their inaction is the reason these rifts and portals are opening up all over your world. As other worlds fall to corruption and decay, their barriers grow weaker. As their barriers go weaker, so do yours. At a moment of singularity, well,
So we help you get this world stone, and you said you would need our help.
I
How
do.
would we do that if our world goes into this stasis when we give it to you?
I will share with you my power. The power of the world stones. The power of the gods.
And then we help end those gods.
Correct.
I say we got the best end of the deal we could.
As is my intention. Without these necessary steps, without the ending of this realm and others, this would not be possible. To stand up to these beings is an impossible task.
And this is why you asked if we had the power to kill a god, would we?
Yes.
Can we back up just for one moment? I'm a little confused about something.
I think he's always confused.
Also, your
Not
camera is
wrong.
like freaking the fuck out.
I know my camera. If I'm not standing like directly in front of it,
I just
goes
thought it
all
was
weird.
funny because like you literally faded in when you said that. You're like, surprise, motherfucker. All right. Anyway, continue.
Can we go back and tell us, dear men, how the rifts are opening again? I was kind of confused about that part.
Other world stones have grown corrupted. The power that they once held, the seed of life, is fading. As that happens, the barrier that seed also provides, protects it, nurtures it, begun to fail. Those barriers press up against other barriers, including yours. As those barriers fail, the barrier on the other side also grows weaker, that corruption spreading, the decay crossing over, so to speak, As that happens, your barrier gets weaker and weaker and weaker, till at a certain point there's nothing left. That is what is happening. That is what will happen. Unless you take the steps necessary to stop it. Your world is special. It is a center point, the first world stone, the most powerful. Your world will be the last to fall. But when it falls, there will be nothing left. There won't be another chance. I have gathered
another
world
thing,
stones. Go
I
ahead.
might have missed this part a little bit later, or last, when you first brought us to the library. What's the purpose of the world stones again? What do they do?
They spread life. Life cannot exist without a divinity seed.
Okay. So you put a world stone on a planet, life blooms. Over time, the world stones get corrupted. The barrier between other realms kind of get all weak
It's worth
and
noting
start allowing passage between the two. And you want to take the thing that gives us that powers the world to go fight gods to make this stop happening. And hopefully our world doesn't crumble into dust when you do that.
yes, it's worth noting that the corruption only spreads through inaction. Should the gods give of their power to reinvigorate the world's seed, this would not be a problem, but the gods are absent. They
Can I
abandoned
insight
us.
check her?
You can certainly try.
Come on, Bard. Come on, Bard. 11.
And she appears to be telling the truth.
I don't believe her.
And that's your prerogative, but Aki doesn't
Braylon,
believe anything
Zen?
he's told. That's,
No, this is Mowgli saying, I don't believe her.
That is what
You
she is
know,
presenting, and you do not see any signs of deception.
you're known as the root of fear. And one of the biggest
A
fears of
title not
most people.
given to me by myself, given to me by your comrades.
With good reason after what you showed us the first time we met you. What you've shown us over and over, and what you were forcing our hands to do.
Mimi's gonna hold up her finger real quick. Um, you also remember Amaya telling us she had never actually done anything to anyone before Arthur.
The journey,
The most that she had done was the whole scary thing, but never killed or harmed.
the journey to the World Stone must be undertaken by those willing to take the necessary steps required. That includes being able to force through the most terrible things. That includes making the decision to, and she gestures around you, destroy a realm for the safety of your own. Those steps are not necessary, in that there are other ways to do them, and I will teach them to you. But those willing to take the steps, those willing to take the necessary action to do so, those willing to go above and beyond for their protection, that requirement, and that is the thing that, well, it is hard to test.
I have
But
a
she points
question.
to the rift disruption device now, the light kind of mid-flash and stuff here. You've proven you are willing to take those steps if necessary.
Well,
Y-
I kind of am just the big dumb idiot of the party.
Bravery and
You've never
intelligence are not.
presented this before. Why us? Why not years ago? Because it seems like this could have been something that could have easily been stopped.
You are my 104th attempt. Most people
Damn.
run. They cannot face the truth. They cannot face uncertainty. They cannot face the terror that they will go through. You did.
$104. Hmm. So you've been at this for so long.
A lot longer than you know. Your 200 years, 209 years, I believe, that you've been dealing with this is a drop in the bucket. Promethea fell millennia ago.
And all this time you still couldn't find the World Stone.
I could not gain access to this one until the corruption started. Until the decay spread far enough that I could reach here. There are rules to these things, as I've said. Things I can't
Many
tell you
times.
until you have the knowledge necessary to understand them, but
Well, clearly rules are meant to be broken.
not these rules. These rules are set forth by powerful beings, more powerful than even I, those we seek to oppose. We must follow their rules until we gain the power to break them. That is the A point
Or what?
of our mission.
Who's going to punish you if you break these rules?
The
So that means there's
gods. I am not
the
strong
gods.
yet. I am not strong enough yet to face them.
I would say it's similar to how she made the deal with us. If she breaks it, we felt that it could lead to consequences.
Believe me when I say that I sense the same frustration in you, Zen, that I have felt for a very long time. I know it is confusing, but the perseverance must continue.
If you've been doing this for so long and you're following all these rules, you telling me during this whole time there's not a single workaround that the gods have not caught on to you or what you're trying to do, and
Oh,
then
they know.
our world,
They know
and
I'm
yet
coming
They
for
don't
them.
care.
you're still here. So clearly, if you collect everything that you're trying to do, you're still not a threat.
That thought has crossed my mind, but I ask you this. What are the other alternatives? I must try. You see these scars appear on her arms again for a split second, and then kind of disappear and stuff again. For the others I have lost, I must try. I have no other options. Neither do you. Apathy and inaction is the root of this problem, and apathy and inaction will continue to spread the problem. Unless someone acts, be it me, be it you, or be it the next group if you fail. Or else we all just wait inevitably for the end.
I'm on board to try.
You said the divinity seeds can be restored by the gods.
Correct.
Why is that not a path we're trying to pursue? Instead of giving up ours, instead of destroying this world as an option, why is trying to restore the other ones not what we're doing?
Your world doesn't remember the gods. You said that yourself, the gods aren't real.
If they
Other
are,
newer
then why
worlds,
doesn't this work?
other newer worlds still remember them. They worship them. And when the decay began to spread, they asked for the gods' help. My world did. We worshipped them all. Every god that existed, be they powerful or be they the god of a small shrine on a mountain that no one ever visited, we worshipped them. We gave them the power, and when the end came, when it began, we asked for help and we received no answer. That would not change here.
In
It
other
seems
words,
like
they
a
have their power and they couldn't give less of a shit about us.
I've said it before and I said it again. We are ants to them. If you are
it
walking on the
seems
streets,
like
do you stop when you see a colony? Do you
a
continue?
personal vendetta
Oh, it
mission,
is personal.
and you're looping groups of people on your suicide mission to try to stop gods that clearly, as you stated, are aware of what you're doing, allowing you to do this just so you could try to fill your conscience. Meanwhile, our world stops, and we have to hope that you succeed in order for our world not to crumble. Our world's doing pretty good.
For now,
Pretty
Really? Have you looked at the
from what
math
she's
of these rifts in the past 200 years? Their frequency is increasing. Will continue to do so. As your population declines, and as these rifts become more common, you will eventually be unable to stop them. The armies of Umlaut fight in the tunnels, and they grow weaker and weaker. They dig deeper and deeper, trying to hide. They cannot hide from the end of the world. The same is true for those in Cove City. They ignore the world around them, hoping that it will work, but... And Astra fights. They try their best, but eventually everyone loses a fight. No one is invincible, and when that fight is lost, it will be the end.
we just
Again,
heard her talking
apathy.
about our barrier growing weaker and weaker, and that's why she's even here. We could fight for the next millennia until we're inevitably destroyed anyways. This entire conversation is just, it's inevitable.
you
Whether we do
have
it or the
no
next person
idea.
does it.
You're just taking everything that she's saying
I'm
as if
saying
it's a
I'm gonna
sure.
try.
Trying is all we can do. To
Say
sit
we
back
tell
and
her to
wait
fuck off. What
is...
then? We fight in rifts until we're old and gray or we die?
That's what we joined up for.
Or we can do the better option and take a potential power to end it all so that the next generation of people can live without fear. Exactly what we are told we are in here for. So that children aren't raised without their parents due to a rift opening in front of them and killing them, and them living
I
with
think
that for the rest of their
the part
lives.
you're missing, Mimi, is the fact that there may not be a future generation. We're doing this for a gamble, if our world makes it or not.
And if our world ends anyways, that next generation still doesn't exist. So you tell me, we can try and do it, or we can just let them fizzle out.
You
No matter
said that if we went through your trials, and that if we grew stronger and found the stuff you were wanting, that you were able to give power of the gods for us to fight the gods,
Yes.
then why can't we fight those gods, make them see we're not ants, and make them rejuvenate all of those worlds? Why do we have to just gamble on destruction of ours?
Until we receive the power necessary. Even approaching those gods is endeavor. If we go to them without the power to make ourselves heard, without the power to raise our voice, then Why would they listen to us? If we are not a threat to them, why should they change anything they've been doing for millions of years?
So we give you our world stone, and now you will have the power of the gods, which means now you will
Give
be able
me
to
a second.
provide power to others. So now we will be on equal footing.
Yes.
I'm just not buying it.
See, I think it's funny that y'all are talking about trying to go to the gods, actual full-fledged gods, as we are, and y'all don't even want to listen to her.
No one's trying to go to gods as we are. The whole thing is her on a vendetta mission and trying to recruit people to do something that she failed 104 times to do.
Okay? And we close rifts every day and more open every single day.
104 different groups of people. Who
And
knows how
how
large those
many
groups are?
rifts are we going to close
Why
in
did you
what
join the
lifetime we have?
torch if you're worried about how many portals we have to close?
Because this could end all of them. If what she says is true, if us
Exactly.
trying
If
and
what she
succeeding is
says is
true,
true,
then we could fix that.
that's not a possibility.
Unless it
You,
is.
but you have no evidence that it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Her opening a rift, her telling us all of these things, us finding stories about it, living through a day of constant fucking insanity isn't enough to tell you that there's more out there. Seeing these monsters come from these worlds isn't enough to tell you that there is something else we could do when we've been rinsing and repeating the same thing and nothing has changed. Trying something different isn't worth it.
He's been rinsing and repeating the same thing 104 times, and nothing seems to be working.
And you could do the same thing every day in Astra without her
Yeah, I can.
and get nowhere.
Aggie, you think back to a particular conversation about the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Foreshadowing. I just wanted to bring that out there because I thought that was clever. All right, continue.
Also, I do have to do a quick little intermission. They have to restart the internet.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So let me tell them they can restart that real quick, and I will hopefully be back soon.
Oh,
She disconnects,
wait a
the
minute,
cameras
though.
might go wonky. Just deal with it.
He argued
That's to
so
the
hard she
audience.
got disconnected from the internet.
Boom.
I don't know if I would take that as a win, Zin. Zin, I understand that you may not believe everything it is that I'm saying. And I have no way to prove it to you directly, not at the moment. But I will. Our original deal, our original agreement, was for me to have the opportunity to prove it. To tell you that everything I'm saying is true. You made that deal once and I'm asking for it again. You will see in time that what I am saying is the truth.
If you get this world stone and you have the power to make other people gods, why just the four of us? Why not create an entire militia or get a whole world of people you could turn into gods and join your crusade of insanity to exact revenge for your world? Why, first of all, couldn't you just recreate your world? Because you have the powers of the gods now.
It's not perfect, but we're on the phone.
I could. But the thing about doing that is that others have proven themselves unworthy. They will not take the steps necessary. When faced with fear, they run. When faced with the choice to save millions of lives for the future reinvigoration of the world, they refuse to do so. When others look at the choices before them, they balk. They do not have the necessary fortitude to continue. By making this choice, and she gestures to the crowd of frozen people around you, the people now running and screaming from you and from Mimi's choice and from the rift disruption device that they know will destroy their world, and knowing that you as a party have placed it. They see these types of choices and they freeze. You did not. You figured out what the problem was, and you solved it. That trait is not one that can be taught. It must be inherent. And you all have proven that you have it. You can make the hard choices. And more importantly, you're willing to deal with the consequences when those choices happen. Whereas others have said that they cannot. They have proven time and again that they cannot. What I present before you is not a guarantee. I cannot guarantee that we will be able to do what I am trying to do. I cannot guarantee that you will succeed. But we'll try. And trying is better than not. There are so many phrases that exist, so many sayings from different worlds that all say the same thing, that perseverance and taking your shot is more important than not doing it, that apathy and inaction is a weakness that you all do not have.
How many gods do you plan on going up against? We get the World Star. You give us the power of the gods. How many? What are we doing?
Any of them that refuse to act. Any
So
who do not step up and take the actions required to save our worlds, we will oppose them.
so the bully becomes the bullies.
Yes. In so many words. Are
But
revolutions that change worlds not celebrated?
how are we any better than them?
Because I will give up the power. When the time comes, I will make sure that no gods continue to act in the way that they have for millions of years.
My issue with all this is we have no reason to trust you. But no matter what, again, we are being posed a question that no matter what, we really have no choice. Either way, whether we're trying to save our world or whether we trust you, either way, we have to accept your power. There's not a choice for us. So you keep talking about inaction and how we're someone who is willing to do something about it, but you still have us trapped here. So if you want to prove to us that you are honest with any of what you're saying, I think the first step is you'd give us back to our world and let us go. You want us to find something for you? We can't do that here. You want us to prove that we're willing to go that mile? Well, we've done that. Whether we can find a way to go against these gods and restore those other worlds, protect our world, yes, sadly, we do apparently need you. We do need that power. You've already had us make that deal. So where are we any different right now? Where are we with this being any different than what you've already forced our hand into doing? The illusion of choice isn't choice. Our trust isn't going to be easily bought. But you know what we signed up for. You know what we're willing to do. And you've seen that we've done it. So if you don't mind, letting us get back to that would be nice now. And without the mindfuckery, you've played with us long enough.
Consider my words. Look for the evidence around you. It exists. If you search hard enough. Don't assume everything I tell you is true, and I congratulate you on having that mindset. See things for yourselves. When the time comes, my original statement still stands. Call on me for help, and I will be there. I will do what is necessary. The question is, will you? If not, enjoy your lives. I will continue to try. She disappears. The crowd continues, and then, with a single instant, the world around you is destroyed. Reality crumbles, the rift collapses, and you find yourself sitting in a familiar clearing in the forest. A small fountain sitting on top of a large glyph, fresh water in the center of it, and a small beeping noise that you recognize as a rift disruption device. With about 2.5 hours remaining.
Did you tell us how the world stones are getting corrupted? I totally meant to ask that. I
Yes.
completely
By
blanked.
God's leaving. God's not caring and leaving.
Huh. It's weird that's happening now.
I'll.
Speaking of leaving, we should get out of here.
Yeah. Let's go
We need to leave.
back through our
Arthur, still
rift.
dead this time?
Yeah, Arthur's dead.
100% still smush? Okay. Time to go break it to torch again, shall we?
Mm.
And Raylis
Yeah.
will fly toward the exit.
Head back through the forest, following the path that led you guys here. It's not
Ooh,
very
can we stop
hard.
by the? Can we stop by the cabin and see what's in the cabin?
You could. I've already deleted most of that stuff, so I don't know if I, because
you said there
guys
was
kind of
cool shit
ignored it
in
the
there.
first
They
time.
brought us back
There-
here. You should have done that.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to decide after the first episode on how hard I would continue the rest of the story, and decided to go pretty hard. Also, everyone say hello to Constance.
Constance.
Can't even see her on you.
Anyway, you could stop by the. I can give you the overview if I can't give you the exact words of exactly what's the journal and stuff like that I told you guys about, but I can tell you the overview part of it. If you want to visit the cabin again.
I mean, I would be interested, but it's fine. We can
It's up to you.
just bypass it. Go through the portal.
Continue past the
Yeah.
cabin, past the clearing, and eventually find your way to a large green rift. Can't quite see through it. The edges and the image itself is distorted and blurry, but you find yourself once again at night in an open courtyard. The several individuals that you would know from the Guardian Corps, other members, kind of standing around in a guarding position, weapons at the ready, just in case something else comes through. Torch pacing back and forth, and when she sees you, she jumps at you, kind of, dashes over a little bit. Is it done?
It is. And I'm sorry.
Kind of looks past you a little bit, looks towards the portal. Looks back at you. Looks at the portal. You can see the moment she realized. Her face falls. Tears begin to form in the corner of her eyes.
Raylith will give her small pats on the back as she kind of a little bit.
Sorry.
Someone beat him up.
You guys are great
Please.
at this. You can have philosophical discussions all fucking day. You have to confront and comfort one character, and you guys just throw that ball way wide. Forget dropping it. You guys are just tossing it off somewhere else.
Well, we've already done this, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, Raylith will like kind of just lower her voice a little bit and be like, if it's any consolation, he didn't feel anything when it happened. He didn't suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, that does help. I'm happy you all made it, at least.
We're here if you need it.
Yeah. How much longer, and around that time, after the time travel back and stuff, you guys hear a small thump. Portal behind you shifts, then collapses in upon itself and closes. With no more light from the portal itself, it does dim a little bit, but the kind of ever-burning torch lanterns that light up the park itself and stuff still provide enough light to see. You see the visible like relaxation, the shoulders falling into a more relaxed state of the other Guardian Corps members. Well done. This is Torch. Mission completed, I guess. You all can
Yes.
you can head back to the barracks. And I'll go make our report.
I don't think you should be alone in doing that. I'll go with you. I have details from what happened anyway that you probably need. I don't think you should.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Look back to the others.
Yeah, we're coming.
Y'all
We're
can
coming.
probably tell by the look in her eyes, she's not fucking this up twice. And then she's gonna go with her.
I'll go.
What about Aggie and Zin? Or what are you guys doing?
I'm grab Aggie and we're going.
I don't want to write no stupid report.
Shut up.
Bitch.
Why?
We've had enough. Someone feed him.
Ooh, food.
Okay. You all follow Torch back through the city, back towards the Guardian complex. There you kind of walk down a series of hallways and eventually end up at a large office. The door is open, and inside you can see Boreal Steel Grip, a large dwarf. And I say large, like he's still a dwarf, but he's jacked, like he's fucking like super muscular. He is wearing a shirt this time, but he is kind of dressed in a kind of standard uniform, leather armor and stuff across his chest. Sees you all approach, sees Torch, gestures to a set of chairs placed before his desk. He says, "Right. What happened? I heard
I
some
hide
news
behind
already,
Sten.
but
Met Boreal Steel Grip once, hiding behind Kazin.
fair. Yeah, that's last time didn't go so well for
Technically,
you.
you haven't.
If it, yeah.
Okay. So we went in the rift after fighting the things that came out, and obviously time was different as it happens, and we found Arthur near the clearing of the center where we needed to place the device, and we got in a fight with an entity, and unfortunately Arthur did not make it, but we were able to close the rift.
Kind of nods his head. Well, I must say it's a bit disappointing that that Arthur didn't make it, but it's understandable. Something we all signed up for here. Congratulations on making it out yourself. Roof was closed. Priority 2 was followed as much as it could be. So, well done. You all have the night. I will see what I can do about getting you a new commander, a new captain very soon. Till then, take tomorrow off. Get some rest. You all look like you need it.
It's felt like a time.
Right. Thank you. I know it wasn't exactly going to be expected of you in your first day on the job and all, but you did very well. So, thank you. Thank you to all.
While I'm here, Mr. Steelgrip, the rest of you don't have to be here, but you can if you want to be. I'm too tired to care, quite frankly.
Oh boy.
So, in regards to, my acceptance, well, why did we feel the need to go about that way?
We can't afford any kind of dissent to the Guardian Court. People need to be focused on the mission. Your distractions would be... well, they'd be distractions. People need to be able to focus on exactly what it is that we're trying to do. You run around asking your questions, you won't be thinking about the mission. You'll be thinking about looking for things to help you. That could get people killed. We don't want that.
I went and did it today, didn't I?
Well, what are you having conversations about your parents with every other individual while you were in the middle of your mission?
Now that don't make a lot of sense, does it? There's a time and a place.
Exactly. That time and place is not here. There are formal places you can make your inquiries. There are city guard, there are government members. The Guardian Corps has no input. We told you this before. We don't know
And
why
every
it is
time.
that man said what he said. There's nothing here. Not for that. Your acceptance was agreed upon because of your strength. That is all.
Understood.
Good.
I suppose it's time to turn in for the night.
Right. I'll see you all very shortly. Morning. Good luck. Sleep tight and all. And he begins writing stuff down on a piece of paper. He doesn't necessarily dismiss you, but you get the feeling you... Torch at least
Anything
gets up and
else?
leaves. Or goes to
Aurelith
leave.
would take her after Torch as well.
Yeah.
He was a lot nicer this time than the last time I met him. He was kind of an ass last time.
I wonder
don't think he
why.
remembers
Aggie.
Mm.
Yeah, you did a great
Aggie's
job
also
hiding
not really
behind me.
comprehending that this is a different reality altogether.
Yeah. Technically, everything that happened there didn't happen.
My brain hurts. My brain hurts a lot.
Oh, it's gonna get worse, but I had to set up stuff
I
early
know.
on.
Zen is going to go shower and then get into the bed.
Was there anything else Torch needed us for with the report, or?
No.
Okay.
Something that you probably would have been told is that they'll give you the chance to relax, to calm down, and to kind of prepare your report. It's not due immediately because the adrenaline and stress of the situation and stuff tends to cause problems with like remembering stuff and making sure the details are coherent. Typically, you'll do what's called an after action report, which is basically a, hey, we lost this person. That sucks kind of thing. Tomorrow or the next day or maybe the day after or something like that, they'll sit down with you for an hour or two and get like a full detailed thing when you've had time to, calm down and consider the details, you know what I'm saying, before making the report. That's when they kind of actually do the like, give me a step by step of what kind of happened kind of thing. So that's still something that's coming. But for now, it's you've had a stressful day. Take a break. Let's talk about it later kind of thing.
All right. Now I'm gonna head back to the room. Mimi's brain is frazzled.
I think everybody's is a little bit, but
For real, super fried right now. And not in the fun way. Raylith is
What's
gonna
the
try
fun way?
drugs.
drugs. Drugs. Yeah, Raylith's gonna not Raylith.
Do
Raylith
drugs?
is going to not do drugs. I feel like I've already done them today. Raylith is gonna go meet up with, or try to meet up with Torch and see if she's willing to try to grab a bite to eat and kind of just like let her talk if she wants, but be there so she's not alone if not.
I think you would catch Torch in the hallway, kind of on the way to the barracks stuff, and she would be like, maybe tomorrow. I need to I need to go tell some people about what happened. It's kind of
So that's the whole
late,
story.
so they're probably asleep, but people need to know. So
She'll just nod.
it's
and
probably better
kind of-
coming from me.
Okay. Just try not to be alone as much as possible.
Yeah.
And she'll kind of just pat her one more time.
Yeah. Thank you for the thought at least. She'll head off into the city somewhere. So Zin's going to bed. Mimi's, I think, also turning in, I think is what she said. What about Aggie and Raylith?
Aggie's head hurts. A lot.
Yeah, that tracks.
You said it's late. Is the cafeteria area open?
No, the cafeteria is 24 hours here in the Guardian Complex.
Raylith's gonna go get
Yeah.
something to munch on and ask if ask if fucking Aggie wants to join.
Normally I would say yes, but this time I will say yes because I couldn't eat.
Normally I'd say yes. This time
there was
also
gonna-
yes.
I'm saying yes.
Okay. Look. I've already had enough time, fuckery. I'm gonna need your statements to be clear, concise, and maybe not at all as we go eat something.
You don't want me to talk?
You can talk.
Just sit in silence and
Is there gonna be food
Think
in your
about-
mouth when you're talking? Because that's a little bit gross.
I
Good.
can't
You
promise
don't
that.
talk, right? Oh no. Okay. Well, food. Let's go. And then she'll just fly to the cafeteria.
You'll head to the cafeteria. The cafeteria is much as I described it before, a large room with about 15 circular tables and stuff kind of scattered out across the room. Tables and stuff at each one. A large bar at one side of the room with a few doors behind it that seem to head off into a kitchen where you can hear the banging of pots and pans, sizzling and roar of fire. That kind of. Just inside you would see a familiar face to Aggie, at least. Tomas, the gnome, sitting behind the bar, standing on a little stool. It works the same way again that I had kind of described before. You get these little number things. You tell them what you want. Take the number back to your table. They'll bring you food when it's ready. The menu is also the same.
I don't remember what the menu was.
They
I'm
have
gonna be honest.
so the menu will be like
I remember
it'll be like a
corn.
chalkboard.
Like-
Yeah, it'll be like a chalkboard, and you'll see like it'll be separated into two sections. One will say meats, one will say vegetables. The menu itself will say like beef, pork, and chicken. Then you'll see the word lamb, and the lamb is crossed off with a giant X through it. The other side will say potatoes with parentheses fried, and then corn, broccoli, cauliflower.
Chicken.
Tomas, my
corn,
friend, how you doing?
broccoli. Oh, what?
It's been a long
You know?
time since I've seen you.
What? Wait a
Have
second.
you laid anyone low lately?
I've met. Wait, who are you? I
Gone
don't
for,
think
like,
I've ever
the-
seen you before.
What do you mean? We had a we hung out yesterday. We had a great conversation and everything.
Oh, yesterday I was sleeping. So, because I got kind of demoted for getting into a fight. So, I was trying to figure out where I was going to be put at, and I was put here today. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
we were
recognize
talking
you.
yesterday when I came to order food, and like a Goliath got up in my face, called you short, and you like knocked him right in the nards.
Oh, well, I do that. I do punch people in the gonads every once in a while. It's happened before when they call me short. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever met you before. My name's Tomas. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I know. How can you not remember me? We
On
talked
account
yesterday.
of well, I do take a blow around the head every once in a while, so maybe that's it.
Oh, right. So like
Yeah.
after you were put on latrine duty, like someone just knocked you in the head, and like now you don't
latrine
remember.
duty. Oh,
Yeah.
please gods, no! I don't want to be in the latrine duty. That's not what I'm here for.
Well, I'm glad you got out of it. You're in the back in the kitchen. That's good.
This is just kind of looking back and
Oh.
forth. All right. Oh,
Aggie-
what kind of food would
Aggie-
you like? We got the beef. We got the chicken. We got the pork. We also have corn on the cob. It's really fun to eat because you rip it, you hold it with your hands, and you rip it off with
Oh
your
my
teeth.
god.
I don't like the
I'll take the
cauliflower.
corn.
though.
It sounds
gets
delicious,
stuck.
and I'll take some chicken and a little bit of the pork and your vegetarian option.
What's a vegetarian?
Non-meat food.
So you want like broccoli?
No, that's tastes like feet.
Right? Or would you like some more potatoes?
Oh yeah, give me all the potatoes.
Well, I can't give you all the potatoes, but I can give you a nice helping of them.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So we got a chicken and a little bit of pork, some corn. All right, here's your number. Take it to the table.
All right.
All right, and for you,
Raylan, what you getting?
Chicken, broccoli, corn.
all right, understood. Here's your number. Take it to the table. We'll have it out shortly.
Tastes like feet. Really? Really?
Yeah.
Why are you eating feet?
Do you really want to know the answer to that question?
No! I was hoping you would say you didn't.
Hey, what happens in my free time stays in my free time, okay,
Yeah, let's
Raylith?
keep it in your free time. Let's keep it in your free time. I'm gonna enjoy my mini trees, okay? Okay.
I don't understand why Tomas doesn't recognize me from yesterday. We had a
By
nice
yesterday,
long
do you mean, like,
conversation.
before Portal or after Portal fight?
Like after we got on the portal, we came back. We were in the infirmary, and then like I
Okay.
went and like talked to him, and like
Aggie?
he punched that Goliath in the gonads. Yeah.
Okay, I don't understand quite how that happened with how we met people and you remembered people from that. I understand we were shown a lot of stuff, but that's all it was. It was illusions. They were literally messing with our head.
No, it felt pretty real to me. Like, you know,
It felt very real. That's the whole
Boreal
purpose. Do you
Steel Grip got in
remember?
my face about it, you know. Next day
Okay,
you forced me to do chores, which is really,
all right. So
really
remember when we
mean to your
were
teammate.
initially trying to fight Min? Do you remember when we initially tried to fight her right after
Yeah,
or right
yeah, she
before Arthur
swatted
got spotted?
Arthur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, do you
Yeah.
remember I
Yeah.
I know I saw weird stuff. Did you see people die in really bad, painful, terrible ways? Like everyone that's here right now?
Not in like real
Because they're
bad,
all still
terrible ways.
here.
Like I remember like the fireball and the meteor like wiping out the city. We were in here at one point and like that bald headed bastard grabbed me and then the Imperial Guard those guards came in, like broke it up. Then
Okay,
remember
okay.
like you guys were like, fuck the gods, we're outside trying
Yep.
to get in the city and like now then we switched and
So
then like we were on
look at yourself.
stage and then like maybe Doe was just like, oh, I got this thing, let's blow up everything. And then like we were talking to Min for a while and like she was saying some shit that like I honestly when you get into that deep like exposition part of like some evil person's like plan, like oof, way over my head. And then like
It's meta as fuck, boy.
All right.
they were like back here, then like I don't know.
Yeah, you see how all that happened and like we got scorched, we were in the infirmary, couldn't move, had really bad burns
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
I remember
You
that.
see how we're not burnt? See how we're not burnt, no scars, no nothing
Yeah,
today?
Wraith, I don't know if you know this, but
We
like
don't have that kind of healing stuff here.
magic does some
Not
baller ass
that
shit.
good.
And if you like wait a day, like all your wounds go away.
You just
One
need
day
to sleep.
Mimi might kill Aggie.
Okay, well, I know this is really, really difficult for you to understand, but most of that didn't actually happen here. Here specifically. You know how the rifts, right? You know how we
Yeah,
go to them and we're on different worlds?
yeah.
Well, we were in one of those the whole time. We never came back until today. So all the stuff you thought you did, we didn't do here. Like I failed at consoling Chorch, you know, and men came and visited. That didn't happen. Torch is just finding out about her dad dying.
Oh.
Yeah, see, so we know stuff that we shouldn't yet somehow, okay? Like
So
that Amaya is Torch's mom. Like we don't know that, but we do know that, but it hasn't been told to us yet.
wait.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, there we go. So when you said you met Tomas over there, the little guy, the kind little guy over there, the corn guy, okay?
Yeah.
You
Tomas the
hadn't met
castrator. Yeah.
you hadn't met him yet.
You
The whole thing where you said you had an experience with Boreal Steel Grip.
or are you saying like the entire conversation with Min about how the world stones are dying due to the gods' apathy and like
Oh no, sadly that happened. Yeah,
that,
that was
and
a
then
bunch of
like
mindfuckery.
we have to give her like all the badges so she can go fight off the final four, and then like the world depend like we're the center of the universe, but like for whatever reason our world stone needs to be like used to give this lady who showed us her deepest fears like
Yeah, all the stuff that she said
godlike
doesn't really
powers
make
to
good
kill
sense to me either.
gods. And then
Yep,
like
all that doesn't make
what
sense to
happens
me
when you
either.
kill all the
That's not
gods and like someone has a godlike power with like no one to ever like stop them? Are we going to get those world stones back? And if they take the world
look, your
stones, will
food
like the
hasn't been
collapse
touched
the
yet. Aren't you hungry? I
what?
heard that
I've
corn on the
been
cob was
eating this
really
entire
good.
time. What are you talking about? I'm
I
like a
need you to
chipmunk, just like
eat your
squirreling things
food.
away.
He has to roll checks to not choke.
I'm not
The only
gonna
good
do
thing's
that.
rolling all night.
Okay, maybe you weren't the person to talk to about decompress with this. Maybe I shouldn't have even thought that you would. Zen seems nice. Maybe Zen next time.
Wow, Mimi's not even an option here. I'm upset.
He got like, he was cool back in the day, but like he got like all goody two shoes, and like now he's holier than thou and thinks he's better than everyone because like, ooh,
Oh, so you knew
mind,
each other
body,
in the past?
spirit. Like, ooh, I can meditate all day long. I'm better than you.
Oh, okay.
And like when
Okay.
we were kids, like I would like, do these like impressive like card things that distract people, and then like he would like take some of the rations, and like we would gamble things. It was great. And then he went off. I don't know.
Wait, you were taking people's rations?
No, like we were betting. Like, you ever seen like the three card Monty? I'll pull
No.
out some cards and throw out 3 cards and be like, all right, hold on.
Oh God, we're gonna get a live demonstration of 3-card money.
Never done 3 card Monty, so this should be fun. All right, so like follow the queen, right? That's a queen. That's a
Okay.
ugly ass
Okay.
queen from
Oh.
Princess Bride. So like I'll put this down with 2 other cards,
Mhm.
an ace and a 7, an ace and an 8, and then I'll just move them around and keep your eye on the queen. All right.
Okay.
Then after a few turns, which one's the queen? I'll just left, center, middle. And then I'll try to
Keep
sleight of hand my
that-
way out of this.
Yep. Give me a sleight of hand check. And Courtney, you give me, or Raylith, you give me a
God
perception
it.
check.
Oh God. Oh, that's actually good. Hold on, what's my plus? I have 18 plus 3. 21.
21.
God damn it! I rolled a 3 and I got a
You're
10.
rolling so bad.
Okay.
I've
So-
used every single D20 in my tray.
So he goes around and shifts the cards around, kind of throwing them around and toss them out at each other. And you see that he does a couple of what's called a double lift, where he'll grab 2 cards in one, and instead of letting the one on the bottom drop, he lets the one that's on top kind of slide over and stuff. And you manage to follow this card really, really well. And when he finishes it, you tap the center card. Boom. Queen.
Mm. First try,
This is going to be terrible to
lucky
say to you,
first
but
time.
honestly, after the first impression we had of you, with the where you were really tall when I walked in, and then you shrunk down.
Yeah.
Honestly, surprised you don't just use that on the cards to make them all queen, or to make them all not queens. You probably could have got a little more money that way.
He's
Or not money. You could have got more
he's
stuff.
rethinking a lot of things.
That's it. We broke Aggie.
Oh my god. That's
What
incredible.
the?
Don't gamble food. Gambling food. Food is so scarce for people. Why were you gambling food?
Because I was hungry. It's an
We
illusion.
were all kind of hungry. It's
So good. Why did I think of that? Been doing it for 20 years.
I think this is one of few times we will see him break down.
Aggie? Nah, he's going to break down in every episode. That's just kind of who he is.
I can't. I have to go away. I'm sorry. Aggie will get out of his chair and leave.
I'm gonna finish my food and then go back to the barracks to actually sleep after that, because she wasn't tired. She felt she needed to decompress, but Aggie was not the person. Now she's mentally exhausted and just wants a fucking nap.
Fair. Once again, we find
Oh,
ourselves in a
men's stuff, dude.
situation where Aggie is now alone at night wandering around the Guardian complex.
He's not my charge. I'm just saying. That's Zen. Zen's twitching in his sleep over there. Aggie's tingling.
Ears are definitely burning, yeah. What is Aggie doing?
I think he is sitting at a fountain with his cards, like trying to cast illusion magic over him, but like he's
Oh my
so
God.
flustered that it's just like doing real bad, and he's just like hyperventilating a little bit, just like, why did I think of that? I'm really good at illusion magic. I could do this.
You sit there for a few minutes, and eventually someone comes up and sits next to you, watching you recognize. You would see, we'll say, a tiefling with very dark skin, black. These two horns that kind of curve, instead of going up, they kind of curve around and go back, almost like a headband kind of thing, across the front of their forehead. And they kind of sit there with their tail kind of dipping in the fountain, that wearing what appears to be just kind of standard pants and tunic kind of thing. She watches for a few moments, and then, I am sorry.
Huh? Sorry for what?
For confusing you and your friends.
Who the hell are you?
She will wave her hand across her face. And you'll see Min's face superimposed on a dark-skinned tiefling.
You have to stop doing this. You're confusing the bejesus out of me.
Apologies. It is a necessary thing, but I realize
one thing I don't know-
that I may come across quite strongly at times. And I realize that I may be a bit too forceful, perhaps, putting the things that I am putting to you. I am trying my best to make you all understand what's at stake here. I
This is the
realize that
wrong
I
one
may
to
have
have
gone
going on.
around. That's the wrong.
You told us you've done this a lot, right? Try to recruit people for your cause.
Correct. 104
And, like-
times on this world and countless on.
It's never really worked.
Hasn't.
If you wanted like a bit of advice, maybe change your approach a little bit, not scaring the shit out of people, and like just try and get on the same page. You probably could have gotten this squared away with years ago if you were just a little bit more receptive to, I don't know, don't be so mean.
I have tried that particular approach before. The problem is, doing it that way, end up getting further and further. End up taking along companions and giving them the chance to prove themselves later on. Feel like I waste time when they inevitably fail. The phrase "rip the band-aid off" comes to mind. Quicker is better, and we are running out of time. The corruption spreads. The divinity seed grows weaker and weaker. The longer I test those I need to test, the less time I have to test others.
But like, how do you know if like killing a god is like the correct thing to do? Why not take the world stones and you have the power of the gods, but like repair the world stones in these different realms that are failing, instead of just going out and just killing gods? Because we've never lived in a world without the gods. even though we don't really actively know about them. Well, we've only lived in a world with the gods. If we take them out, what's going to happen to the world?
I have thoughts about attaining the power of the world stones myself, becoming a god that would be active, continue to reinvigorate these worlds, give them the power that they require. But as I see it, I do not know the minds of the gods. There has to be a reason they are inactive. There has to be some sort of... There has to be a reason, right? They can't be doing this for... I fear
So instead of like,
that when we get to that point, that they will oppose us. But we won't be the ones opposing them. They will try to stop. I'm preparing myself for that moment. What your bald-headed friend Zin said is true as well. This is personal. I lived on a world called Promethea. And you see these scars once again kind of appear, wrapping and warping around her arms. This time they don't disappear as she kind of stares down at them. When I was much younger, before I obtained the power of our first world, the one from my world, Promethea was a wonderful place.
okay, real quick,
You're
is
cutting out.
anyone else?
Yeah.
Is Shane cutting in and out a lot
But
Yeah.
for anyone else?
okay, sorry. That's
Yeah.
probably because I'm trying to talk quietly and the noise filters and stuff. I'll try to talk louder. All right. Promethea was a peaceful place. It was glorious until the corruption started to spread. When the barriers began to fall and other creatures came, our world faced much the same danger yours did that first week. We too found ourselves unprepared to deal with things. My husband and daughter, the main city, when it fell to creatures we were ill-equipped to deal with. These scars, and she kind of runs her hand over her forearms and stuff, are from the flames that I dealt with while trying to save my family. The gods have hurt me. And it is true that my, as your friend put it, vendetta against them does have a personal stake. But the fact remains that inaction is still the cause of this. I want to ask you, when the time comes, please talk to your friend. Help
About
them
killing the
see,
gods?
help them see that unless someone takes that next step, then there will be nothing left.
She chose Aggie of all people.
She chose Aggie for a reason, because Aggie,
I'm a real good speaker.
well, not just that, but Aggie has shown, a certain amount of stuff. Anyway.
Like I'm down with finding a way to like closing the portals and stopping this shit from happening for good. I'm down with that. And like I think we're all behind that part. With me, it's like the option is we gotta kill the gods. We gotta kill the gods. Cool. I think
is-
Zin is a little, apprehensive about if we kill the gods, and the reason for the world stones being corrupted is like the distant father figure that we always had. Uh, what happens when you get rid of him? Will it just accelerate the world stone corruption? I don't know. I didn't really know what that means. I'm just saying what he said. And I think Rayla just doesn't want to, give anyone too much power because, even playing field. Because I think she's going to try and murder us all in a murderous rage. She is scary. Mimi, I think she's down to clown.
Your friends asked for proof, evidence that what I'm saying is true. The others, I don't think they
You're
would
breaking
quite
up.
understand that. Even should I show them this proof, I don't think they would believe it. They would consider it to be a fairy tale, a story that I am creating to continue my purpose. But due to our connection, I know about you, Aggie. I know about your propensity to tell the truth. The propensity to see the truth spread. I would like to present to you, Lau, a truth.
What?
Would you follow me? See, she stands up, waves her hands, and a very appears beside the fountain in the courtyard.
Sure.
She steps into it.
I'll follow her.
You step into a world that is frozen in time. A huge city, and when I say huge, I mean there's skyscrapers, like metal and glass buildings and stuff that reach heavens. You see the city itself spreads for miles and miles across this landscape. You see in the distance these long metal towers with what look like, I don't know how to explain it in terms, but it would be like rockets, like space rockets, and lined up around the edges of some of the places of the and you see that all of these buildings are twisted and just absolutely wrecked. Glass scattered everywhere. Buildings in the process of burning, that kind of thing. But it's all been frozen. This is Promethea, the world where I was born.
Place is fucked.
That is one way of putting it. There are many ways a world can end. When our population began to decline, people realized we were growing infertile. Our divinity seed had stopped working. Life could no longer spread. We began to panic. Began to argue. Fight.
Oh, you're breaking up real bad.
Look,
Your Discord hates you.
Yeah, it's even worse
But-
than before.
fucking look.
Yeah.
I'm trying my goddamn best. Okay, I want to talk quietly because I need it to be quiet because it's in character. Fucking annoying. All right, I'm just gonna turn up my gain. I guess I don't know. All right. What did you hear?
Nothing.
Heard this is Promethea. Divinity seed was dying and your population was going infertile.
When that happened, we began to argue amongst ourselves, to fight. They began to send weapons of war against each other, screaming and yelling, and armies marching against each other, which further decreased our population. And so there wasn't much left. Those who tried to tried to leave this world, found it impossible. She kind of gestures towards the rockets and stuff on the sides. And eventually, they brought a weapon that was so destructive that a single missile took out this entire city. One single weapon. This is but an example. Even should the power of your world stone fail, people who are living here will continue on for some time. They will find themselves unable to repopulate. Eventually, it will be a slow, drawn-out death. My plan, should it come to fruition, will leave your world in a similar state. In that there will be time, even after the power of the World Stone is taken, for us to do what we need to do, bring life back to you. For this world, it is, well, no longer possible. But for yours, chance still remains. I show you this because I want you to understand that should the inaction continue, we don't take the leap of faith that is required, your world could end up like this. Again, it is but one of many ways worlds end, but it doesn't have to.
You cut out again, boss man.
So
Fuck off.
why don't you take the after we take care of the gods and restore balance to the universe, regrow these world stones so the barriers still stay up. Why don't you take them and just wind back Promethea so you can go back to your family?
Even the power of the gods cannot change the past. There are some things that are impossible even with unlimited power. This world and others like it are permanently gone. It's not something I can change. My mission is to make sure that it doesn't happen on other worlds. That people like you and your friends don't have to suffer through the same things that I did. That you don't feel the anger and despair that I feel.
Now let me run a little theory by you, okay? I understand your idea of why the world stones are being corrupted are due to the gods not really caring about anything. But what if it's not from the gods not caring, it's just from individuals on worlds tapping into the energy of the world seed or divinity seed and using those powers for their own benefit, draining it and making it weaker and eventually just collapsing the entire world?
There are worlds where that's the case. There are other world stones that have been taken by individuals other than me. Those individuals travel to other worlds and provide threats to those worlds, and there have been people who have tried to gain the power of the gods through ill-gotten means.
Don't you think it's a little weird that the city of mages and academic study and the mystic arts just somehow is around this world stone, perhaps, and using that to boost up the city in the past 200 years? The only threats we've ever had to face is really just a random portal opening up.
Wardstone is not an asteroid.
Are you sure?
I am positive. Once again, I told you this before. I know where the world stone is. I cannot approach it without your help.
And so, like, those chantings you showed, like, I saw down the tunnels, that was like people worshiping. What was that about?
An alternate history. The way your world could have ended up.
Are you sure it's not happening now?
He gives you a quirky little smile.
All right, so we hope you find the world stone, so our entire world doesn't end up like this concrete and metal jungle of destruction. We stop the gods from not caring a bit. Restore the balance of the world stones, and the barriers between the realms will buffen up a little bit. All right.
Correct.
Seems simple enough.
It will require you and your friends. Everyone will be needed.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm the leader of the group. They'll follow me to death. I think we got this.
She gives a little laugh, and that's what I expect. She leans down and gives you a nice soft kiss on you. Thank you, Aggie. Now go. Get some rest. And she waves her hand and another little portal appears. I'll see you soon.
I will walk through the portal, not really thinking about where I'm going. And I guess just find my way to the barracks and fall asleep.
You appear back in the courtyard. Follow down hallways down to room 7 where you're sleeping. Crawl into bed. Pass out for the evening. That is where our episode will end for today. But you all level up. Congratulations, you've reached level 4.
Hot damn.
Do we also get a long rest? I'm asking this because it's important.
Yeah, you get a long rest.
Okay. I don't think I
Oh
used.
my god.
So we're going to head off screen for a little bit. I'm going to put up the BRB screen. We're going to do some talking and stuff on our end. We're going to do some level ups. When we come back in about 5 or 10 minutes or so, we are going to, to have a chat. This episode is very lore heavy, so I assume chat has plenty of questions. And we will discuss all those questions. You'll hear us
Have questions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the cast has questions. We'll talk about that. We'll answer some stuff, maybe. Some of it might be spoilery, but we'll see. We'll talk about our level ups. We'll thank our followers, and we'll do all that. But until then, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll see you all very soon. See you in a second. All right, and we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bonus Action, our little after action talk show where we talk about the episode, hang out with chat, do some stuff, and, just kind of hang out for a little while. This episode in particular has got some juicy stuff to talk about, and we're going to get into that. But first, we have to thank some followers. We had several this episode. First off, we have Spirit Creature. Thank you for following us. We have Alexia. Again, thank you for the follow. Archdemon. Hey, Emil. It's nice to see you. Thank you. We have Danny Swift and Cannoli Mike. Thank you, you guys as well. Appreciate the follows. We want you to know that we do love you, and we appreciate it, even if we don't mention it during the episode, because, we don't want to have to stop every time and do all that kind of stuff. But you'll see it here. So, once again, thank you all very, very much. Now let's let's talk about the episode. We'll pass things along to the cast here and let them give us some impressions and tell us what they thought, and then we'll go to chat and see what you guys thought, and then we'll go into some questions if anybody has them. First things first, cast.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
What episode? I'm currently in an institution.
I am so sorry. I knew that I wanted to set that up from the very first episode when you guys went into Rift. I was like, I have to play around with this, and I knew that I was going to do some stuff. I also knew that I kind of wanted to start revealing Min's intentions very early, and kind of start setting up a lot of backstory for her so that a lot of the stuff that she's going to do throughout the campaign makes sense. She is a character just like you guys are, and I needed to get her backstory in, just like I get you guys' in. So, do all that stuff and get it out of the way early so we can get into the meat of things. Like, besides fuck you, which I understand, I do. What did you guys actually think about the episode? How do you guys feel about it?
I don't know. Did it actually happen?
Did it fucking actually happen? Because apparently the second one didn't.
Who knows? We'll see in the next episode. Maybe this was all a dream too, or something.
If you do that to us, I quit. Twice, I quit.
Really, the only thing I struggled with was finding out I could use minor illusion on playing cards.
Fun fact, you know why that wouldn't work, like following D&D rules, right?
Verbal. And...
yeah, because it's kind of obvious when you're casting a spell, unless you have subtle spell. You could take meta magic at it, and we'll talk about level ups and stuff in there in a little bit, because that is something you could do to get subtle spell, if you wanted to. That is the thing. But yeah, in order to actually be casting the spell, which only lasts for like a minute or something like that, right? You would have to be like chanting over the cards and kind of like doing hand gestures and stuff. It would be pretty obvious if you were trying to do that.
Look, Rayla doesn't know how that works.
Fair.
She just knows that he got really big. Why can't he just change the card?
Fair.
It made sense to her.
Raylith don't be having magic, but that is a thing. You can't just do that, unless you set yourself up for it. But yeah, I have to ask, how long did it all make sense? You know what I mean? Like, I know at first it wasn't, and it took time and stuff, but once everything was laid out and once you understood, like, did you actually understand what was happening? Like, did you actually catch on?
Yes and no. Yes, once Marilla, she was like, well, because I was like, oh, the Rift, but then I was like, no, my character doesn't know Rift. Raylith knows Rift, so I have to be like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, there was a lot of weird potential for metagaming in that. I was kind of worried about it and seeing how it would go, but you guys did pretty well, I think. Other than random Pokemon references, I think we did pretty good. But Mowgli's always going to break the fourth wall. So, you know.
But
I think that Pokemon reference is actually a good analogy of like what he's trying to do is become stronger and take on stronger foes.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it works. It definitely fits.
I actually didn't understand why there was no like portal out until Courtney said it,
Because she didn't
and then
want
I
there
was
to
like,
be.
oh.
Yeah.
Like really
And I
thinking
said,
back on it, it should have hit one of us sooner. That minutes usually pass by when we come out of a portal, but this time it was hours,
Yep.
and like that was never questioned.
What was questions?
I kind of set stuff up like, and it's the little things, right? The little details, like the little bits of foreshadowing and stuff that really add up to me being able to do something like this, because you guys just don't question it because I'm the DM and what I say goes, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to use that to my advantage on this.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a bit stupid.
I'm not going to argue with you, but like, you know.
Wow.
I'm not either. It's fine. I know.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. I was trying to decide whether or not I was gonna like do another episode before I did that. But I decided not to, because I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way and start the
I
fun
like
stuff. It gave you guys a little bit of a rest before immediately jumping back into some fuck shit. So, you know.
Definitely fuck shit.
Yeah. So what about chat? Did you guys enjoy the episode once you started figuring things out and once you kind of got into things?
Did you figure things out?
Yeah, because there were some wild theories I saw throwing around in chat. Shit was crazy. And then on top of that, like, questions. Do you guys, the cast, have any questions about different things that I might be able to answer, that we can answer as a group? And then chat, do you guys have questions and stuff as well? What kind of little bits and pieces did you guys catch or something like that you have inquiries about? And also, again, let us know y'all's thoughts about whether or not...
What are your questions, Bard?
Yeah, hit us. We're here.
I feel like we need to
Don't
scroll
tell
back
us
up
you
and get
have
some of
questions.
Palace's
Just ask them.
confusion.
The time is now.
Yeah, that's what bonus action is for. Is talking about it, answering questions, doing stuff like that. So
We're ready. We're prepared. Our brains are mush, but we're kind of ready.
We're not ready. He should be
We're-
ready.
We'll try.
Whichever spot he's in.
so you're thinking about
I'm
it.
mirrored.
He's over there.
Yeah, I'm mirrored, so it's hard. Because like I was pointing
Oh,
this way
shit.
to point at Sammy.
There?
There you go.
and
Yeah!
she did it here. So I'm mirrored.
I'm surprised no one questioned the Once Upon a Tabletop poster.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't-
y'all straight up just let that exist.
yeah, I don't think anybody noticed it. You know, that's fine.
I am sad that we have done this to Brandy's heart. Please
Does
fix
each decision they make, each hour they waste, make them each see a different alternative truth of their world?
Potentially, that's the way it was working in the Rift. Once things had settled down and Min began to control things, she was letting them see different potential outcomes, not necessarily different truths, but different ways their world would end or like continue and stuff. You know, letting them see, like I said, like different alternative futures more than anything. Not necessarily truths, because they may not have happened or might not happen based on, you know, the choices they make and stuff like that. But these are the way the world could turn out if they make the wrong decisions, or if they make some of the right ones. You know, there was a happy ending there, sort of. You know, we'll see. But yeah, it was potential futures. What is the point of no return for their world if they act too late? I described in episode 2, the divinity seeds are a battery. It is, you know, if that battery runs out, well, that's the thing. Will that happen? I don't know. Stories are weird in that I've presented an option for them to take, and it looks like that is the only option. They could very much decide not to accept Min's deal. That is a thing you can do in D&D. Your character is your own agency, and if they decide not to accept it, say one character decides not to accept it, well, we can do something where we create a character, like Zen, for example. We can do something where Zen leaves. You know,
Raylith.
or Raylith, yeah. Like Zen or Raylith or whoever decides not to accept it could no longer be a part of the story, or maybe they are, something like that. But we create another character that might be more receptive to this particular thing going on, something like that. But if all of them decide to take it, or if they fail, if we get a TPK or something like that, then that is where the story ends. And it may not be a very satisfying ending to a story, but it is an ending to a story. And it could be that's the way the story ends. I mean, it is a possibility. I don't necessarily have a specific time frame. I have certain things I want to happen. But if they, decide not to take some choices, it may be a situation where we see there is a point of no return. It could happen. So we'll see. The story evolves over time. So,
in other words, he also does not know what's going to happen in between those milestones.
Nope. Because the party changes the story. Dice rolls change the story
like,
just as much as. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is a thing. Why is Aggie so special to Min? Aggie has a crush on Min. I don't know if you realized that. And Min is also a very manipulative.
To manipulate.
Yeah. Min is a very manipulative person. She's going to use what she has available. And I know Aggie realized what was happening. Rather, I realized that Mowgli realized what was happening, even if Aggie doesn't. She's going to use the tools available to her. So
she has something she needs to accomplish.
Which is why everybody was like, of course she's going to Aggie. Like, it's obvious. You know what I mean?
Aggie's the little conspiracy theorist who will grip onto anything over there and just go.
Hasn't she been described as an anti-hero?
Yeah, Callus did call her an anti-hero. Yeah, and that's a very good way of looking at it. Yeah, morally gray. What she's asking the party to do, what she's setting up for, like, would you destroy a world if it meant that you could save it later? Or would you, take these actions and stuff to, kind of do all this? I mean, yes, she is very morally gray. She's very upfront about it. I mean, she straight up mentioned several times in this episode, there is a personal angle to this. There is a vendetta. She wants, revenge to a certain extent. But there are also other reasons for doing what she's doing that are beyond revenge. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say she's a good person. I wouldn't necessarily say she's a bad person either, though. So she's honest and communicates her intentions.
I don't know that she is. She's, again, very manipulative. I feel like the party is kind of having to believe her because we're not given another choice. Like, she froze time and showed us as many things as she wanted to. We didn't have a choice but to do what we did to break that cycle. So, like, the illusion of choice is there, but she's not giving us choices. Like, it's purely what she wants right now. So I don't know about how truthful
I also think in the long run of things, you have no choice with the situation we're in now. I don't know. I like the fact that she is morally gray in a sense. And I understand, like, there's manipulation, there's her own things to it, but for Mimi, I mean, right now her problems feel a little smaller in comparison, but I mean, the idea that doing something is better than constantly going through what we've been doing and not changing a single thing. If we die, we die. We could die closing the rifts, or we could die fighting gods. It seems crazy and fantastical, but we deal with fucking rifts. A rift to a place we've never seen could open up. Well, technically all of them you've never seen because it destroys the realm. But like you deal with new things every day. What's to say this isn't?
But it's destroying the realm according to Min.
actually,
Do we have
I-
proof that it actually destroys the realm?
Nope.
I was gonna say,
Not
I
yet.
actually have questions about that. Technically, it would be an in-game question, but it's asking is it always different creatures, or
That's
is
something
it?
I was gonna bring up. Like,
Yeah.
have we ever? I was gonna ask, like, in the history of rifts and stuff, have we ever had like people come through? Because like we go through these rifts. Surely somebody else, if they see a rift on their side, like these animals are coming through it, these monsters are coming through it. Have people ever tried to come through it to kind of be like, hey, there's a whole other world out there, kind of a thing, and this isn't just abominations coming in, or has it always been monsters?
Not to this point. And that's kind of explained by the fact I kind of touched on that a little bit. The barrier gets weaker and weaker as like the magic of the divinity seed fades. By the time it's weak enough that the barriers are so thin they begin to perforate.
Humans and humanoids are gone.
Pretty much. Like in an end of the world scenario, and this is like a proven study type thing, humans are actually probably like not going to last as much as other things. We don't have the kind of adaptive capability that other animals and stuff have. We will not be the last things here if the world ends. It's not going to happen.
In other words, by the time this barrier falls, humans are long gone. It's
Probably.
whatever's left.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the animals themselves, I mean, technically, in that case, they've probably fought similar animals. It's probably the afflictions or something that may differ. But
Well,
I don't know. Question.
there are going to be, to answer that, there are going to be multiple types of creatures. Like, it is a thing. It's not going to be just, you're fighting wolves and stuff like that. Like, especially when you look at fantasy stuff, there are other things that are going to survive an apocalypse that is more than just, stuff like dragons, stuff like abominations and horrors and stuff like that. I started you guys off easy because you're level 3. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna see more than just like basic shit. It's
So I have a question, because I guess we have to wait because I don't know what's next. If she has the ability to close rifts, and
I
that's
think
leading us to
she
another
said she
place.
can't actually close these rifts yet.
She has the power to turn people into goo.
She has the
I
power to
think
open and
that's too
close
hard.
her own.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying. She can't close the ones by other gods because the other gods, when they leave, are what are creating the tears.
But she doesn't want us to destroy those realms.
She didn't say we couldn't.
she.
Right now, there's nothing we can do to avoid that.
I mean, she kind of did though. She did say that,
yes,
like,
but that's why
need
I
to
had
find
asked
another
what
way
I
around.
asked.
Yeah.
And technically, if I remember correctly, it's once she gets that last divinity seed, it would give her the ability to actually close other rifts.
If the situation with me in the library never happened, and we still need to figure out a way to not destroy these other planes of existence, how the hell are we going to leave the city in order to find the World Stone? If the World Stone is even out of the city.
I think that's
no,
something
it's
we're
in
gonna
the
have to
city.
figure out.
You mean, because 104 tries, I mean,
I still think it's
you
so funny
have
that you're caught up
no
on that.
clue. That's the whole big thing. 104 tries that you have no
She never
idea.
said she doesn't know where it is. She cannot tell us where it is.
She doesn't have to tell us, what she could just walk there.
Except she also doesn't have access to it.
Because she
There is
doesn't know where
something
it
that
is.
all of the shit in place. All she can do is say, "Hey, there's this. I need you to uncover more shit so I can actually tell you about it." If we don't do that, we're not going to get anywhere with it. There's something we have to do for her to be able to actually access it.
And
That has
yet
not happened in 104 people.
not people,
Tribes,
group,
teams, whatever.
and you're just blindly following, just like this scent to my right is blindly following whatever she says.
I'm not blindly
Simps.
following.
Right.
Yeah, simp. My little
Simp.
halfling
I heard
simp.
scent. Like
I heard scent too.
S-E-E-N-T. I was like, why are we sniffing Mowgli?
Oh my. But no,
What?
I mean,
I
it's
was
not
looking at spells.
blindly.
What's going on?
As you go through things, we're able to uncover more. We're able to learn more. You're able to back things up further as you go.
The only thing we've learned so far was that she has the power to fuck with us, and she's insane. And
Okay,
she
what else have you
has.
tried to learn?
What else was there to learn where everything we did didn't happen?
Except it did happen.
But it did not.
We took all of the actions that we did. They happen, just not in our realm, technically.
Nothing happened. Do you have proof?
You know, as a DM, I absolutely know Shane is absolutely loving this amount of discourse
I
between
am.
us.
Yeah, no, I'm just sitting here listening with a big old grin on my face. I
I see
love this
that.
shit. It's like, yeah, it's funny because like I know what the story is. I know what the conditions and stuff are, and I'm like, when you guys are kind of like dancing around things and it's a whole thing, I'm just like, this is great. I love it. I really do.
We won't know more until we search for more. If you want answers, you have to get them yourself. I think that's what it comes down to.
The answers. She wants the stuff.
Okay, but you're questioning everything. Look,
Because she's forcing us. And you're just like, okay, muscle mommy.
I'm muscle
No,
mommy, actually.
She's muscle mommy. Get
I'm
it straight.
muscle mommy.
Get it straight.
Correct.
Listen, simp. You're still blindly
This conversation
following.
went totally somewhere different than where I thought we were gonna go.
Bard's here. What did you
Um,
want?
This mommy.
Exactly.
Shane, I do think we should go up and like try to clear up some of Callus's confusion if that's something able. He's not here right now. He had to leave, but he wants to listen back for like answers. So if there's any like big questions from him that you're able to answer, you should be able to actually see all the.
Yeah, I didn't see specific questions.
Yeah,
He
I
got
just
really confused at one point with like the time wibbly wobbly multiverse.
Yeah, he said I'm lost. That was around the time that
Yeah.
that you guys went back through the rift and went back to the actual world. I think that's what got him.
yeah.
But I think that was well enough spelled out that
Afterwards.
yeah, the whole part was
Yeah.
that you guys were in a rift basically, and that in a different world created by men for a little while for her own purposes, that kind of thing. But eventually you did come back to the actual Astra with no time lost and that kind of thing.
Just
I have some questions for men next section.
then ask them. My God.
She did tell
Like,
you
I'm gonna-
it still follows. She is there, so
I'm so excited for whoever's going to do the recap next week.
yeah, there's a lot of information in this one.
I think I volunteered enough.
I need you to know. Hold on. I need you to know. My notes this time are a lot lower. Like I think I have partially a second page, but like my first page was literally. Hold on. just re-listen to the mindfuckery is on you.
Oh my god.
Well, the good news is not only will this be available on a VOD, but we do have a YouTube as well. So if you want to watch these again, you can. You can go back and watch them in order if you are lost or if you want to catch on. Go back and listen to them and listen to the little things I dropped. Things like the conversation about insanity, things like, the portal that they all just kind of blindly went into and stuff like that I used to set this episode up. It's all there. And you can go
Also,
back
guys,
and listen to things.
If there's any moments, I'm asking for help from chat here. I normally go back through the episode afterwards and go for like clippable moments. If there was a moment that had you like, oh shit, I'm really into this, can you like describe that moment that like, if I played that out of context, what might help bring other people to check us out from like a clip from this moment? Like if there's a moment that you can think of specifically this episode that kind of made you go, oh wait, hold on. Like what snippet was that? Like where was that in here?
Yeah.
So I can just zoom back through.
What? You guys can also make your own clips, I think. Find something dope you can.
I'm glad Sammy was the only one who saw that right away.
What did I do?
No, it's in Discord. It's in Discord. The general chat in Discord.
I'm so sorry. I'm so glad we're in bonus action.
That one of
You think
those I
silly stuff
definitely would
doesn't
not have been
happen?
able to keep it from laughing, and if you saw it, yeah, no,
No.
it happens. All right, well, if we don't have any more questions or comments or anything from chat, because we've been quiet for a little bit there, then we can go over some level ups, because you guys leveled up. You're at level 4 now, and there's a couple things you get at level 4, not too much, nothing too complicated. We're gonna go through and talk about kind of what you got and what you did. So we'll start at the top here. Courtney.
I'll say mine's super simple, super straightforward, honestly. I literally just took the defensive duelist feat, which increased my dex by 1, and it makes it to where I can parry as a bonus action, or not bonus action, as a reaction. I can do that, and I get another weapon mastery, which is my 4th fucking one. I don't know why I need 4 different weapons at level 4 that I can use very well, but I chose Great Axe for my little 2-foot-tall fairy.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I
What's the
think it'd
weapon
be
mastery
funny.
with that?
Swiss Army knife. You got a bunch of different stuff. That's
What's
kind of
the-
what fighter is.
What's the weapon mastery with that?
Great Axe
Oh,
is cleave, I think, right?
It's cleave, yeah, it's
Yeah.
cleave.
Cleave. And you said you had a
Since I like
longbow.
surround myself with shit. Yeah,
Is the longbow slow or is that something else?
It's slow, yeah.
I think.
Slow is so good.
Yeah, slow is ridiculously good. Slow turns longbows into Ray of Frost, which is hilariously good.
It's nice. Hold on, let me actually pull that up so I can.
Actually, I don't know if
pull the
if Ray of Frost got updated and if it still has the movement speed thing, but yeah, slow is fantastic. Okay, so something a little bit more interesting than basic here. Mowgli.
Wow, thanks.
Well,
Love you too.
what'd you get for your level up?
I got more spells and an ASI, and the feat I took was telekinetic.
This is gonna be
Oh, God.
pretty useful.
Yeah, for mage hand and pushing someone as bonus action. And I also get an extra spell, and I have no idea what to take.
You could take something for combat. You know what I mean? You could take something for that, or you could take something for roleplay purposes. Because there's going to be a decent amount of roleplay in this. It's not going to be super heavy combat like something like Tyranny of Dragons was. But
Like I have some good offensive spells, and some not. There, I think what role playing thing should I take?
I don't know. You got like you can lean into the charisma part of it, and, suggestion and stuff like that if you wanted to, or like charm
I was thinking
persons
about
and
suggestion.
various things. I don't know. It's up to you.
Suggestion will get me. Suggestion will get me out of being piggybacked, being like carried as a handbag.
It might also keep you from getting absolutely dominated by Boreal Steel Grip at some point. Which is probably going to happen again at some point, you know, 'cause,
Probably.
it's
And
you, it's
invisibility will
Aggie.
be good at like getting away from becoming a handbag.
Will
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I'm invisible. You can't see me.
See about that.
John Cena.
The only times I get good rolls is outside of combat, apparently. So have fun
Apparently
with
I
that.
can't roll for shit.
Fair, yeah, that's the thing. What about Sammy? What'd you
Big
get for your?
suggestion.
Cursed screenshot and weapons mastery. I chose battle axe with topple, so that could be fun. And just a feat, so I'm a bit stronger now too. I'm a barbarian. It's very simple. I just fight shit, and apparently I'm a little smarter than your typical barbarian, so I can speak in eloquent sentences.
I don't
I
think
don't know
that's
if
the
I'd say
word you were
eloquent.
supposed to use. She said. Well, she didn't even say eloquent. She said etiquette.
I just said eloquent sentences.
I heard etiquette
Eloquent?
sentences.
That's even worse.
Eloquent. Oh my
Mhm.
god. They can't. I'm not even speaking with the accent. Fuck you guys.
Your accent went all over the place.
Bruh.
Okay.
I was confusion.
Then last but not least, what about Zen? What'd you do for your level, my guy?
Chose grappler.
Right.
So I was able to increase one of my abilities, and now I'm able to punch and grab.
Yeah, you can grapple as a bonus action now, right? You land a hit.
Where do you plan on using that? What's your tactic here?
Um,
Anyone in particular?
Away from me.
the enemies.
Uh-huh.
For
Uh-huh.
now.
Sure.
I don't
The real
know.
enemies are the friends we made along the way, though, right?
I haven't threatened anybody, but right now I feel like my friends are ganging up on me, so maybe I have to rethink who my enemies are.
I disagree with that. I have not betrayed you at all.
Mm-hmm. What was that forehead kiss? We don't know about it, but like, what was that forehead kiss, huh?
Ooh.
The what?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
well,
didn't try to attack my best friend with a spell. I don't know what you're talking about.
nope, doesn't happen. It didn't happen, technically.
No.
But to him,
Well, you know, we'll see. But yeah. Last chance for any questions or comments or anything from chat. And then I think we will wrap this up. I was very excited for this episode. I'm glad you guys managed to catch on early enough that we didn't have to drag that out for too long. Because that was my one worry for this, was that you guys wouldn't catch on and that we would end up in a situation where we're just kind of dragging through and I would have to be the one that goes, okay, look. That nat 20 came in absolutely clutch.
Yes.
no, I was like, I've got to be able to roll for something here, because
Bard says it was enlightening. Yeah, it is to a certain extent. It definitely, it is wild, it's crazy, but it is setting up for other stuff. And it will make a lot of other stuff that's going to happen make a lot more sense as we continue. So, but yeah, again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern for episode 4. The first arc is done. And now a kind of, new adventure is going to begin. We're going to, change pace again and start shifting off into something a little bit different. So look forward to that. And we will see you guys next time. Until then, take care. Love each other. I suck at outros. So
he does.
everybody say goodbye. And then we're going to end.
Bye, guys.
I don't know what to tell you.